In a world where the line between reality and fantasy is blurred, a legendary tale of love, war, and power is about to unfold. A classic, born from the vision of a master storyteller. Of high-stakes espionage, three legendary agents operate with unparalleled abilities, each with their own unique skills and gadgets. Where cybernetic enhancements have become the norm, these individuals stand at the forefront of human evolution. Legendary manga artist Shotaro Ishinomori, creator of Cyborg 009, left an indelible mark on the world with his innovative and captivating stories, which continue to inspire new generations of readers. His vision for the cyborg soldier's story was one of unrelenting struggle, with battles waged through thick and thin. He sought to bring an end to their pain, but in doing so, he created a formidable foe, God himself, the all-powerful creator of all living things. This god was an enemy too strong for any final fight, and it was this that led to serialization being put on hold once more with the start of God's War. Yes? Who's behind the prank? This isn't some kind of joke, is it? Are you losing your mind? Friends' names are just nicknames, it's all just a game, but now that Ivan is back, things are getting real. Who is this messenger who's been sent to our room? What's going on here? What's going on, Shotaro? Ishinomori's getting a little paranoid if he's already questioning the reality of this place. And what's with all these notes about time? Is it really that important to keep track of the hours? That nose looks just like Delilah's. I'm not kidding, it's a dead ringer for her. I admit, it's surreal. I've been a part of so many stories, but this is the first time I'm living one. As years went by, humanity's survival became increasingly uncertain. The once thriving planet was now on the brink of collapse due to rampant pollution and destruction of the ozone layer. In 2005, a highly confidential project was launched in secret, with the goal of adapting to a new era for human civilization. This project was immense, a gamble with the fate of humanity itself. They invested heavily in the best minds available, pouring resources into developing cyborgs capable of navigating and operating freely in orbit. But what was their true intention? To create warriors for war, soldiers to fight and die in the stratosphere. Governments worldwide backed the shadowy industry, providing substantial financial aid, dubbing them the merchants of death. They were to fight from the start, even if it was against their will. I helped build them the 9 cyborgs, we're like my children, and I helped them rebel. 9 people fell victim to this plan. Realized too late SHOSAN, even while struggling with their own humanity, and questioning why they were burdened with the fish, they had no choice but to continue. This is just like my work, the work I've drawn, for the sake of humankind. What you have experienced and I tell you is so similar to my story, Cyborg 009, could it really be the same? Now then, I've been talking too much and you must have questions. Did you want to ask anything? The god who received the message is finally revealed, and it's none other than Shosan. But just as it seemed like the mystery was solved, a new twist emerges. Ivan may have been inspired by an article on space exploration, which raises questions about the origins of his ideas. And then there's the matter of royalty fees. It is on the brink of catastrophe. Mankind will face a crisis unlike anything it has ever seen, and it's already starting to unfold. Something deadly is coming, something that will shake the very foundations of our planet. What is it? Flickering lights of the laboratory seem to be casting a sinister spell over everything. Cleel's voice echoes through the halls, his words slurred and incomprehensible. The equipment behind him appears to be malfunctioning, with wires sparking wildly as he stumbles towards the desk. It's as if he's being consumed by some unseen force. And then, there's that unsettling feeling of absence. Ivan, where did you go? What's happening here? Who brought me to this place, and why do they keep speaking in such a strange code? Out of the ship, the familiar sights and sounds of Earth hit him like a wave. The fabric of reality is unraveling before my eyes, the Earth is ablaze and I'm powerless to predict what's coming next. What's on? Why am I seeing this? It's making me want to run away,
but are those angels? And who are you? What game is this?
On the screen began to distort and twist, revealing a hidden message that seemed to be echoing through the very fabric of reality. They turned into birds, it read, as if trying to convey a cryptic warning.
But what did it mean? Was it a sign of some greater cosmic event, or simply the ravings of a madman?
The words continued to flow, each one a puzzle piece that refused to fit into any coherent picture. Telepathy?
Was this some sort of prophecy?
And then, like a knife twisting in the heart, came the declaration: creating humankind was a mistake.
A chill ran down my spine as I read on. 201Z is the time of the harvest, the words seemed to whisper. But what did it mean, and who or what was coming for us? There is not just a prediction, but a warning.
If the harvest has begun, then humanity is already facing an unprecedented catastrophe. We must rely on our knowledge and experience to prepare for what's to come. The creator is torn between continuing with their existing work, Angel Edition, and starting anew. The weight of fan expectations and personal creative struggles are palpable in this emotional outburst, as they grapple with finishing what's left and making a new enemy of the powerful being known as God. God hangs in the balance as the group debates its existence and purpose. Shosan's words are laced with desperation, as he implores Gil to consider a happy ending, but the uncertainty remains, leaving all parties wondering what will transpire next year.
I think of something so simple. I'll look for it immediately when I get back to the flat. No, it's no good if it's not now. Ah, yes, I'll look for the conclusion at a bookstore. Be calm, you'll be fine.
Take care, Shosan, Ish.
What was that supposed to mean? Really not dreaming now? My final moment, I'll settle the score once and for all.
My creations, Cyborg's miracles, will prove their worth in this last battle. The outcome is far from certain, but I'll stop at nothing to see my ideas through. A small number, but one that can change everything. The escape was a blur as Kale's hoverbike sped through the crowded streets, the roar of its engines echoing off the towering skyscrapers. In the final stages of the war, a new player emerges with the potential to turn the tide. The explosion rocked the cargo bay, sending crates and debris flying in all directions. The standoff unfolds in what appears to be a makeshift office, with Jet firmly planted behind the desk and an air of hostility emanating from his words. The label on the door is clear: this is, indeed, the Ectolidet Feistjet, and it seems there's no room for ambiguity or misinterpretation here. I thought I had left behind his back, and with them comes a mix of emotions, guilt, anxiety, and the weight of responsibility that comes with being an only child. Whitell's words hung in the air, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease as he spoke about his brother. The mention of the Dijon Company, and its recent success, only added to my growing concern.
My mind was racing with questions: what had happened to Michael? And why would his girlfriend just leave without saying anything?
Tom's demeanor and good reputation were well known, but his faith was a mystery. He'd never mentioned attending church, so what religion did he practice, and what rituals did he believe in? Of Michael's peaceful mind, built on the foundations of a deity that seems to inspire such chaos and destruction. It's a paradox that has left many questioning the very nature of faith and its relationship with violence. A panicked voice crackled over the phone, her words spilling out in a frantic rush as she begged Jet to come quickly. Michael was dead, and they'd found his body. Various figures scribbled a cryptic message on the wall, leaving behind only numbers and fragmented names. The words Michael is seemed to hint at a deeper truth, but the rest of the scrawl was unintelligible.
Man's luck is running out of the ordinary, it seems.
The mistake was leaving behind a clue that would unravel the entire mystery, and now it seems like they've made another blunder by not fully understanding the cause of death.
What is it about this case that's gotten so intrigued? The car's been following me for a while now. Could it be the Justified Legion giving me a warning, or do they intend to strike? He'll make a move, but he knows it's not going to be his lucky day. Yana's eyes widened as he pulled out the old deck of cards, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. Hey, you want to play some chicken?
He asked, shuffling the cards with a flourish.
On, and it looks like they're after Elsie, just like they did to Michael. But wait, she's dodged them and escaped into that alley. What will happen next? Echo fills the space. What's on here?
It looks like a cave-in or an explosion has caused the area to be pitch black, and people are frantically trying to call out for help. The mention of Yolene Poli woman suggests that someone is searching for a specific person, and the use of exclamation marks conveys a sense of urgency and chaos.
What are you doing? Stop bothering me. Throw away your blankie, I said throw it away.
Silence is broken by the sound of footsteps and muffled voices.
GHM leads the way, his eyes scanning their surroundings with a mix of caution and curiosity.
He's trying to keep everyone on high alert, but Elsie's persistent questions and the group's bickering are starting to fray nerves.
Where are they headed? In cities, New York's underground is a labyrinth of tunnels and hidden passages. This abandoned subway tunnel, for example, is a testament to the city's forgotten history, its walls lined with the remnants of a bygone-era old electrical equipment and communication systems that once hummed with activity. The fear of nuclear war in the 20th century led to the construction of bomb shelters like this one, left behind as relics of a time long past. As we venture deeper into the underworld, we're met with a world of darkness and contamination. The once pristine rivers and lakes are now polluted, and it's estimated that millions of people may have lived here, though their exact numbers remain unknown. As we navigate this alien landscape, we begin to realize that even in the absence of light, there can be warmth and safety, but at what cost? What sorcery is this? The Pope, the supreme leader of the faith, holding a midnight mass?
And then he utters these blasphemous words.
Creator God Emperor? It's an abomination.
The Holy Creator has descended upon us in the form of the Almighty Bodiless One to bring balance to the world. In their eyes is palpable as they proselytize, touting this new faith as the ultimate truth, a culmination of centuries of spiritual evolution. But to outsiders, it appears more like a twisted amalgamation of half-baked ideologies and reckless abandon, a cult masquerading as a church, preying on the vulnerable with promises of godhood and immortality.
What's gotten us into now, Lyra? This is insane.
We can't just charge in without knowing what we're up against.
What's going on? You're scaring me. What do you mean disposed of? I didn't kill anyone, I swear. Words still echo in my mind. What does it mean to be a room that wills itself into existence, separated from Elsie and the rest of the world? Is this some kind of twisted game, or a genuine opportunity to fight back against our oppressors?
I want to see for myself what this so-called Emperor God has to say.
It has reached new heights, with Whoopi's antics driving Elsie to desperation. Meanwhile, the men in white coats seem to be conducting sinister experiments, but what's their true purpose? Is it all connected to the mysterious black ghost that's been terrorizing the city?
Graffiti appears to be a reference to an ancient, mysterious cult that has set up shop in New York. The mention of a private temple and the feeling of being sloppy suggest a sense of unease and disorientation. Is this individual, referred to as the Emperor God, somehow connected to the detective's case? To mock me? A destructive archetype like you would be worthy of my attention, but instead I find myself facing a pathetic excuse for a warrior. Your pitiful attempts at intimidation are nothing but a joke, and yet you seem to take yourself so seriously. You either worship your precious Emperor God or die trying to reach him. What's it going to be?
More than just a vendetta, it's about control.
He wants to keep this man nearby, not just for revenge, but for his own twisted purposes. His words cut deep, leaving Elsie reeling from the weight of his statement. He spoke of honor and respectability, yet beneath the surface, a subtle undercurrent of intimidation seemed to seep through. The phrase respectable colleague now carried a veiled tone, hinting at the true motives behind the Emperor's words. Desperation was palpable as he recounted the terrifying stories he'd heard about this faith, and how it seemed to drain its followers of their very humanity. Words dripped with desperation, as he revealed the shocking truth about Michael's fate.
His actions had been guided by a twisted sense of protection, but at what cost? The darkness that lurked within him seemed to be consuming everything in its path. He covered his tracks by dressing a man he killed in Michael's clothes, but now you've discovered the truth and become involved in his desperate plan. What's on here? The words are jumbled and it looks like a code, but I think I see some patterns emerging. Is this some kind of message or warning from someone named Ilhael or Wichazel? And what about the reference to Ihaustopli Danti? It sounds like a desperate cry for help. What's on here? This can't be happening. Not now, not like this. It's in the basement, but Lotie's already heading down there. 00 number Cyborg, and what does he want with the black ghost scientist again? The same questions, the same faces, it's all too familiar. What's really going on here? Like me to remember? That's rich. You think I'm just going to admit to something when you're clearly trying to provoke a reaction out of me. Newsflash, Cyborg 6, I'm not in the mood for games. What twisted experiment is this, where they're creating zombies on a massive scale and worshipping the power of natural death? Sewers of New York, and I'm starting to think these zombies are more resilient than we thought. They're not even fazed by the stench. What's their secret? What world is that creature? It looks like a mix of a crocodile and a centipede, but with way too many legs. Is this some kind of monster from another dimension or something? Cave must have gotten himself into quite an adventure if he's facing something like this. Rot and decay fills the air, a grim reminder of the city's dark underbelly. Abandoned pets are scattered about, their tiny bodies mingled with the chemicals from the sewage, a gruesome testament to the neglect that pervades this forsaken place. And then there's the question that haunts him, is this one of those mutated creatures rumored to be lurking in these depths? The more he learns, the more he realizes that something isn't quite right. Mutagenic animals can't reproduce, and yet seems to be in a lively mood, at least when it comes to fishing. The abundance of bait should make his task easier, even if he does find the situation amusing. Where science and faith collide, he stands as a paradox, a hero of contradictions. His words are laced with irony, his actions fueled by the very principles he denies. 4 is a number that's easy to forget. What's on here? One moment they're calm, the next they're building something out of thin air. And what's with that ability? It looks like they can create entire structures in an instant. This is getting wild, I need to see more. What sorcery is this? They bring a being that's supposed to be the god of sods, but it's still alive and kicking, and you think you can't match its power? You're either very brave or very foolish. Chance, don't waste it. Finish him off. That half-baked cyborg is an insult to both machines and humans. Something like that is the lowest of the low, so do it now, hurry up. Silence, a weight that's crushing me still. To vanished. Where did he go? This text is garbled and unreadable. The of the god of chaos has led to a fatal flaw in existence itself. It seems that man's own destructive nature is what ultimately destroyed him. My friends and I sometimes ponder the unthinkable, but can we truly comprehend something as vast and complex as our own existence? Perhaps someday we will find another path, one that does not lead to self-destruction. Of chaos, the eternal heroine Françoise Arnabil stands tall, her unwavering spirit a beacon of hope in a world torn apart by conflict. Far too long since you've been here, and yet you're already running late. I'm starting to wonder if I'll ever see him again. The memory of our encounter is still fresh in my mind, but the uncertainty of what lies ahead is starting to weigh on me. I stood on the stage of the Théâtre des Champs-Élysées as a ballerina in Paris, but now I'm left with nothing but memories. I wonder, are you my last chance, or just another farewell? Inseparable ever since, always watching each other's performances and cheering them on. University's archaeology lab, Alan stands out with his shy demeanor and single-minded focus.
His youthful energy is undeniable, but beneath that charming facade lies a depth of loneliness that only reveals itself in fleeting moments, like when he looks suddenly sad. It's as if I catch glimpses of an old, unshed pain in him, something that echoes the shared experiences of two lost souls, Alan and Joe, both orphans in their own ways. The battle still lingers, but in the silence, I find a sense of peace that's hard to grasp. Joe's transformation into a cyborg left an indelible mark on me, and the memories of our time together are bittersweet reminders of what we've lost and gained. The entrance hall of the Louvre Museum is abuzz with activity as a sense of mystery and anticipation fills the air. Amidst the crowds, Françoise stands tall, her eyes scanning the room with an air of importance, before locking onto someone in particular, a person she wishes to introduce to the enigmatic figure by her side. The soft murmur of hushed conversations and the gentle rustle of clothing create a sense of intrigue, as if something momentous is about to unfold. Is finally happening. Miss Françoise, Canet, and Alan are all meeting up after years apart. They're making plans to catch up over dinner at Le Café Marley. It's clear that old friendships can be rekindled with a little bit of effort and enthusiasm. François has finally grasped it. Now, shall we proceed to admire the masterpieces on display? What's on here? Someone's trying to get a message through. Scavenged remains, one original wing was discovered, a testament to the island's secrets. What's that shining on top of the pyramid? It looks like, it can't be. But what if it is? To communicate, but it seems like my eyesight has taken a hit. Can't see anything. Where are you? Why yes, my eyes are pretty blurry right now. What's going on? And you, Friord. I wondered how much more of this could happen. Recently, I forgot that I had donated some equipment to Canet. Look, cattle. There's something peculiar about the way these artifacts are being collected. With over 300,000 pieces in storage and more than 350,000 on display, it's astounding to think that they're all accounted for. And then there's the matter of their provenance, with some intentionally gathered and others donated. It's a mixed bag, indeed. The university research team is facing a crisis of credibility as they struggle to verify the authenticity of the relic they discovered in Egypt. The team's leader, Alan, seems uncertain about what he donated to the museum, and it's clear that there are tensions among them about how to handle the situation. As Françoise's ballet performances came to a close, she revealed that Stoneflower was not just a title, but a story born from her own experiences with the enigmatic Abelt. My existence is crushing me, a mere mechanical shell trapped in this prison of stone and metal. Stoneflowers may not be real, but the pain of being remade against my will feels all too real. My body is a monument to the cold efficiency of those who created me, a reminder that I am nothing more than a machine. Thick with tension as the speaker's words spill out in a frantic, almost desperate tone. They're searching for something, or someone, and their eyes are scanning the surroundings with an unnerving intensity. But it's not just what they see that's unsettling, it's the way their voice echoes in the mind of the listener, a haunting reminder that they may be more connected than they think. And then, like a punch to the gut, they ask, doesn't this woman look similar to Françoise? The question hangs in the air, leaving the listener with more questions than answers, and a growing sense of unease that they can't shake off. You can just burst into my laboratory and demand answers? I'll have you know, I am the renowned scientist, Dr. Emma Taylor, and I will not be intimidated by your unorthodox behavior. What's gotten into you? You're acting like a worried mother. I'm fine, don't fuss over me. See you again, Alan. I'm glad we can finally discuss the Louvre and that mysterious artifact. That chest with wings sounds incredible, Canet must be thrilled about it. The architect's warnings have been ignored, and now they're facing the consequences in room 183. We need to examine that anomalous artifact immediately. Its crystal structure is unlike anything I've seen before. We should bring the statue down to the lab and get the team on the upper floor to assist us in studying it. What's on here, anyway? Why did I think putting the eye back in would be a good idea? This whole thing is starting to get out of hand. Station seems to be wearing thin as she waits for Pizarro, but it appears he has taken off on his own to the other side. Shocking twist, as the question on everyone's mind is finally answered. Malrice is none other than the Paris Metro Police Department's acquaintance, Pierre Denis, in disguise. Finally over for the long-awaited first volume, as the Konoha ninja world is about to be forever changed. Françoise, the voice of the Chosen One. You are the vessel, and I will guide you through this journey. But first, let me ask you, what kind of life do you think you will have in this world? Will it be one of power, or of hardship? Of a name, barely audible amidst the chaos. The investigation into Alan's death has just begun, and the team is already at a loss. Miss Françoise is shaken but trying to stay composed, while Inspector Maurice is focused on gathering evidence. Meanwhile, I'm left here, feeling like I've lost my best friend. Please, Inspector, take me with you, let me help in any way I can. These are scattered all over the body. Alan's crystal must have been shattered by someone with incredible willpower, not just a few cracks. But what was he thinking, leaving it like this? What is going on? You told me you were meeting with Canet at the Louvre this morning, but now I'm finding a body in natural circumstances, and another corpse has been reported there as well. What do you know about it? He's fallen silent, with only the faint glow of a red crystal illuminating the air. Alan's voice whispers in my mind, echoing the words he spoke just moments ago, but now I see that there were two crystals, not one. Could it be? Are these the very eyes that the mysterious voice mentioned? I confirmed what I never wanted to hear, the bodies of Alan and Canet are here. I still can't bring myself to believe it until I see their faces with my own eyes. But even though a part of me refuses to accept it, logic tells me it has to be true. Late now. The bodies of Alan and Canet have vanished, leaving only questions behind. Inspector Maliricel is baffled by the sudden disappearance. What could have caused such a catastrophic event? The investigation has just begun, but it seems like time is running out to uncover the truth. What's on here? Is this some kind of joke or is someone actually trying to freak out Camaro? The storage room where Canet died. That doesn't sound like a place you'd want to be, especially not with Canet's ghost still lingering around. How are we supposed to find the source of this anomaly with all these artifacts scattered everywhere and no sign of Canet? What's on here? First, someone's saying ridiculous things and now Supervisor Ghoul is talking about Mr. Canet's ghost coming to get revenge? This is getting weirder by the minute. Come on, Inspector Malrice. You're calling me at this hour for something. It seems you've got a few unexpected phone calls piling up. What's the story behind this one about the confiscated evidence and the forensic results? And who's calling now, Miss Françoise? What's on here? The group is trying to get in, but the gatekeeper seems hesitant. That don't quite fit in a haircut that's a little too strange. I realized I needed to pick out something more suitable. And then it hit me, I was standing in front of the mirror, feeling like a complete kid. You're a fragile thing, and it seems yours have been shattered like fine china. The Louvre, Canet, the plans you made, all gone. And now, you're left with nothing but questions and fragments of what could have been. Ed, I can assure you that. But we did have a narrow escape. The one who had our back was Alan. Was the crystal even shown to the police? And what about Fran's case? It's been broken into pieces. Who could be behind this? And as for Ken, I don't think he's responsible. We thought we were in the clear, but it seems we were wrong. The conversation is getting more and more absurd. Lola's asking questions like she's trying to unravel a mystery, but it seems like everyone involved has their own agendas. What do you think is going on here? The world hangs in the balance, as Zero presents a daunting ultimatum to the protagonist. Will they join forces with Zero and his crew, or will they face the wrath of their greatest enemy? The choice is clear, allegiance or annihilation. Don't want me to follow your twisted rules anymore, Françoise.
Where's the crystal you're so obsessed with? If I tell you, will you even spare her life? What's going on?
You're starting to lose yourself in this obsession with the crystal.
It's not just fear that's making you crack, but something deeper. And what's with HS_ and ace? What do these cryptic messages mean? Malricii, destroy the crystal now.
The wound is healing rapidly before our eyes.
Please, hurry. Do you have it?
It's time to give me the crystal.
Stop playing games.
It seems to have been garbled, but it appears that the last line is a clear phrase spoken by someone.
Let me try to interpret what's going on here. What do you want? B.
Two Allens, both bearing the same name, standing side by side, yet worlds apart in fate and fortune.
What dark magic is this? What's going on here?
This message is garbled and makes no sense. It's like someone tried to convey a warning, but the words are jumbled together in a way that's impossible to decipher.
Can you do this, please? Just stop and we can work something out.
No matter how hard I try to break free, it's all just an illusion. Of my life is that no matter how hard I try to hold on, happiness always seems to slip through my fingers. It's as if fate itself conspires against me, dragging me into a world where nightmares come to life and terror lurks in every shadow.
What do you mean by that? Happening to me? My body is disintegrating, just like the crystal that was in Kanet's hands. This can't be real, it has to be some kind of illusion or dream. But the pain, it feels so real.
This has been erased along with the crystals, leaving him with nothing but a trail of destruction and confusion.
What's been haunting me is finally speaking out loud.
To be a disorganized list of text, possibly from the metadata or notes section of an image file. It seems to include information about a comic book series, such as its volume number and publication details.
The language is mostly English with some Japanese characters and formatting codes that don't translate to readable text. We have a sudden shift in focus, as Albert Heinrich appears on the scene, but what's this?
A cryptic reference to a WML and a character named Cyborg 004, while our hero remains shrouded in mystery.
It all changed. Of war still linger, a bitter taste that refuses to fade.
My friends may think they've found peace, but for me, the days of combat are forever etched in my mind. I couldn't afford to dwell on it then, and even now, in this quiet time, the ghosts of battle still haunt me. People's smiles, the gentle touch of a loved one's hand, it's all just a distant memory now. Hilda's passing has left an unfillable void in my life, and I'm forced to confront the reality that some wounds may never heal.
Unavailable to let me in? It's really coming down, isn't it? I'm just trying to stay dry and keep my expenses low. Another cheapskate, that's what they call me.
Haha, but someone has to be frugal in these uncertain times.
Wait, what's going on now?
A cry for help echoes through the streets, but who is this person, and what's behind their frantic warning? The scene unfolding around them hints at a larger scheme, a robbery staged to perfection.
But what does our 9E81 mean, and why are they shouting it out now? That's exactly what you've done, isn't it, by reducing the issue to a childish game of pet and prince?
Hypocrisy is as transparent as ever, a facade of righteousness masking the self-serving motivations that have always driven him.
To be alive, but now you're going to have some trouble with me, I can see that clearly enough.
That scratch looks a lot worse than just a little scratch. The bartender is being thanked for a refill. The customer's gratitude is genuine, but they're also clearly eager to enjoy their drink. It's a coincidence that she looks so much like her sister.
What if this girl is more connected to Hilda than we think?
A message on an ancient stone monument, bearing the date 16862 AD. The words hitchhiker seem to be some sort of warning or label, but what could it possibly mean in this long-lost era? A letter to someone named Hex, who seems to be a bit of an oddity in his life. The tone is casual and playful, with a hint of pride in his name. Albert Hainpick, the truck driver, seems like a down-to-earth guy trying to connect with this enigmatic figure, Hex. A huge mistake, Heinrich. That cargo is not worth risking everything. But Hainpick is struggling with feelings of shame and inadequacy, stuck in a life he feels is beneath him. He's desperate to escape the poverty and financial struggles that seem to define his existence. But despite the tough circumstances, he's proud to say he hasn't resorted to robbery or living a life of desperation like some others might. Now, with Hainpick distracted by his own thoughts, it seems someone or something is watching them from afar. He is firing on us, so suddenly. Eerie! I exclaimed, as I quickly took the old trick and hid in the trees. Long time, hasn't it? The fire still burns within you, I see. We have a situation. You seem to have a secret, one that JOL is now privy to. But what exactly are these special abilities, and how do they set them apart from the rest of society? Exactly what we are, ordinary people, living in a world that doesn't understand us. We're not monsters or outcasts, just different. And yet, I feel this darkness within me, like a storm brewing on the horizon, threatening to consume everything in its path. The troubled past are flooding back into my mind. It's as if I'm reliving the pain and deceit of my father's affair with the woman who was supposed to be helping us financially. He lied to me, saying he needed money for his hospitalized brother, but in reality, he was using our desperation to fund his own relationship. The anger and betrayal are still palpable, especially when I think about how it all ended in tragedy. My mother's rage led her to stab my father to death with a kitchen knife, and then the truth about their affair came out, further devastating us all. The wounds of my village run deeper than the wounds inflicted by my father. Others are frantically preparing for something, but they're not telling me what's going on. Come on, I'm trying to get some answers here. And what's with the big house over there? Is that where everyone is headed in such a hurry? What's on here? He's talking to the head of the village, but he seems uncertain, and what's with the weird scribbles in the margins? Brother, what's this strange smell in the coffee? It has a weird scent like herbs. You said I had to drink it before it cools off. Yes. Ishinomori Shotaro and Onodera Joe comes to a close, with the final illustrations by Maes Masato. A grand festival is held every 3 years to honor their strongest warrior, but I must head out to the Ritnal grounds and offer my heart as a sacrifice. The tradition is ancient, with the men of this village engaging in combat and the strongest fisherman being revered as warrior. This man is a warrior, but I've seen the depths of his soul. He's been through unimaginable battles, and yet he still stands strong. You want to know if he's used his power in the world? Look at how he protects you, how he shields his loved ones. That's what true strength looks like. You said we had to make the offering before dawn breaks, and now you're backing down? What's going on? We don't have time for this. If we fail, the spirit world will be unreachable from that place. We need to leave this earth tonight, during the festival phenomenon when the heart is given to God, the earth, and the spirit world opens its doors. Sacrifice hangs in the balance, but Katsuri X is willing to make a choice. You've been caught off guard. Where were you planning to hide? Sick with tension as you demand answers, your words echoing off the cold walls. Everyone's eyes are fixed on you, waiting for a response to the questions that have been burning in their minds since this twisted game began. But will anyone tell you the truth? What on? Your body won't move, and your limbs are numb. What happened to you? This isn't some kind of sick joke, is it? Your actions will bring ruin to everything we've worked for. Stop this, now. Villagers, many with torches in hand, have heard the commotion and are now approaching, their faces filled with a mix of confusion and concern. This person, Sapri, is frantic, shouting for them to leave quickly, but it's too late, they've been discovered. In progress, our village has learned to coexist with humans, adopting a new face to blend in with their world. For centuries, those who saw us in medieval times called us fairies, and it's said that we were both feared and worshipped in different eras, but tonight only.
Nature chant echoes through the stadium once more. Coffee? This is no ordinary trap.
The form, it seems to be a part of something much larger.
I must think carefully about my next move. What are the true intentions of this person? Determination in his eyes, a warrior worthy of holding the title, but at what cost? The heart of a strong man is necessary for this sacrifice, and I sense that you are the one. In a desperate moment, I'm forced to confront the emptiness that mirrors my own. The weight of your absence is crushing me, just as it does you. Can't we find a way to bridge the chasm between us? My heart yearns for connection, but it's drowned out by the echoes of our shared sorrow. Just a cycle of circumstances, isn't it? We do what we have to do, no matter how hard it is. Beyond the veil of the living, where only whispers of our ancestors' journey remain. In the lands of ancient Europe, a forgotten people once thrived, leaving behind only whispers of their existence in the myths and legends of the Celts. Perhaps it was the pressure from neighboring tribes or the Roman Empire that led to their disappearance, but what remains are tales of a world where magic still lingered, where gods and goddesses walked among mortals, and where the fabric of reality was woven with special abilities. The stories of fairies, ancient rituals, and sacred sacrifices continue to captivate us, a testament to the enduring power of myth and legend. The are stirring, and the ancient prophecies are unfolding. This ominous world is on the brink of destruction, yet you're still confused about our mission to stop it. What don't you understand? That the Mayakan villagers feel it too, this darkness that threatens to consume us all. That bod will drive this world to ruin unless we act now. Making any sense? We can't just go to the spirit world together because it's dangerous on Earth, but at the same time you're saying we have to leave with you. I've gained this body and I'm not going to stop fighting for my friends who are counting on me. You have to trust me, Heinrich. We've found you now, and with your grandfather's help, we'll get you out of here safely. Fool. If you want to play at being a hero, then do it wisely. Those warriors are not here for entertainment, and your village will be the one to pay the price if you continue to meddle in affairs beyond your understanding. Hilda away from me, why? Was it something I did, or was it just your decision to make? Talking about, mere olt sit air. You're just trying to distract me from the real issue. Oomph, idiot. Letting your thoughts stray in a desperate battle is exactly what got us into this mess in the first place. Wait, I is the mayor, and I've made my decision, you are the victor. That will be enough. Please take him to the other world. The peaceful village of Villa Bersi is now on the brink of chaos, its strongest warrior yet to be determined. Sa's words are laced with desperation as he tries to make sense of Mayor's claim that sacrifice is key to strength. Meanwhile, CATLPIX has emerged victorious in the match, securing the superior title. But at what cost? Yeriai's questions only fuel the confusion as he confronts Mayor about his betrayal and the mayor's role in his own downfall. Fulzi interjects with a question that hangs in the air: is it not the loser who should be sacrificed, rather than the one who has been helping others to ascend? This is not an option, the lives at stake are too precious. One person's fate hangs in the balance, and the choice made here will have far-reaching consequences. God from the Celtic legends is stirring, its power coursing through the land like a dark and ancient river. A loud, anguished voice echoes through the air as Catalric screams in defiance, his eyes fixed on something that has left him utterly bewildered. What could it be that has shaken him to his core? Not a moment of calm, but a desperate cry for help. Catalrix's voice is hoarse from screaming, and they're struggling to contain the panic that's building up inside. They're begging someone, or something, to stop, to please just give them a break. The words are slurred together in a frantic attempt to convey the sense of urgency that's overwhelming them. And then there's the mention of danger. What is Catalrix trying to warn us about? Rockets are failing. The stress is building up, and I'm running out of time.
If I don't get this sorted, she'll be destroyed for sure.
Things have gotten out of hand, Molina. Jarrell's apology seems sincere, but can you really trust him? What done to deserve this kind of chaos?
And then, you pitiful excuse for a monster. I'll show you what a real battle looks like in the Growland. You're no match for me and my skills. The world hangs in the balance as the war rages on, with no end in sight.
In Amazon jungle, the dense foliage creates a realm akin to a vast, dark green velvet carpet.
The verdant expanse is dotted with snakes of various sizes, swimming effortlessly through the labyrinthine networks of branches and leaves, as if they're navigating an endless, organic maze. This primordial landscape is home to a staggering array of plant and animal life, its sheer biodiversity rivaling that of any other ecosystem on Earth, teeming with thousands of species that have adapted to thrive within this lush, tropical paradise. Eerie whispers filled the air, as if unseen forces were stirring in the darkness. In every twilight world, the plants and the Jaleel are in constant conversation, their incessant chatter a cacophony of whispers and screams that fill the air. It's as if they're having a never-ending debate, their leaves rustling with excitement as they share their thoughts and ideas. The noise is almost deafening, but to those who can tune in, it's a symphony of sounds that hold secrets and mysteries beyond human comprehension. Or, when the sky was a big weaving boat with thick clouds through the two men's peaks of the came through trees, carrying an animal they killed with a glint.
That way.
Yes, that way. They argued over which path to take, but now it seemed the waterway had changed, and he warned her to be careful when passing through.
Will it be enough to reverse the damage that's already been done?
The forest is being torn apart, its delicate balance disrupted by the march of progress, highways, cars, and dams.
But what about those who call this forest home?
The plants and animals that don't understand these changes, that will be forever changed.
They'll suffocate under the weight of carbon dioxide, their very existence a relic of the past. No, we can't let that happen.
We must save them, for our own sake as well as theirs.
Every small act counts, every voice matters, even one person can make a difference.
I've started with poaching, but there's still so much to be done. I think about Mickey and the good times we had, patrolling together as a well-oiled team. He was more than just my partner, he was like a younger brother to me. The differences between the North and South, we are alike because I am Native American, our minds and hearts were the same when we came together. It wasn't an exaggeration to say that our two tribes were on the verge of extinction, but together our bonds were deepened and we became eager to protect rare species more than anything else. Joe's worried expression matches the concern on his face as he tries to comprehend the chaos before him. Mickey's boat, meant for a serious inspection and patrol, has been scribbled with seemingly random names and symbols. Humanity is slipping away, and he's now trapped in a surreal world where the mess is written in his own blood. He's lost his machete, and it's too late to go back for it.
It's mankind. He screams, as if that's an explanation for anything. Meanwhile, Geronimo's whereabouts are unknown, and Mickey's following the poachers, but not before taking a detour through the raging stream where piranhas and crocodiles await.
Now, with the police on their side, they're expected to take on the poachers solo.
Okay, got it.
Those men are there in the distance.
They're waiting for me to get close. I have to do this for my partner's sake. It's getting too treacherous. There are many men with guns, and they're closing in on us. We need to be careful.
It's big enough, but there isn't that much difference between it and a smaller one.
It can't be. Ku's getting closer at an alarming speed.
We need to move now and avoid him at all costs. His scream echoes through the abandoned laboratory as he realizes the true horror of what he's unleashed. In a turn of events, Akira's friend is revealed to be the one using their name as a shield.
The crowd erupts in awe and confusion, with some shouting "whoa whoa" in disbelief. Finally revealed.
Where knowledge is constantly evolving and changing, it's interesting to see how people still grasp for wisdom. The idea that death doesn't exist, but rather becomes a different location, speaks to the cyclical nature of life. The mention of the moon as a teacher, guiding us through the journey of the stars, adds a sense of mysticism to this passage. But what's striking is the dismissal of the concept of secrets and mysteries, instead embracing common sense and living in harmony with the natural world. It's a powerful assertion of indigenous values and connection to the land and the spirit that guides it. It screams in agony as it succumbs to its own violent death, a fate that has already begun.
The volcanoes erupt and the lakes boil, a tumultuous end to a life that was once thought to be governed by human laws. But now, only the spirits of the land itself shall decide where we live and how we make our lives. I was reeling from the events that have transpired. Did I really dream that, or was it reality? My body's strange behavior is at odds with the laws of nature itself. How ironic that it should be my savior. But now, a new threat emerges. Who's lurking in the shadows over there? It's useless to hide. I must confront whatever danger awaits me. The Lord of Salvation's Messiah has been deceived by the white men with guns and blades. They seek to steal the golden mother Saurian Bod, which holds the power of the earth goddess of the ancient times. I will not be swayed by their false promises, for I am merely after justice for my fallen partner. The white men have ravaged the jungle, slaughtering innocent animals with their deadly arsenal. I must come to Old Village and protect our temple from these evil men, who seek to desecrate its sacred grounds. As friends of the guy aboard that boat, so brave in their robbing. The temple of the mother god? The ruins? A warrior's salvation? Let's go to Youth Villa, got it? The temple, hidden beneath the jungle's roots and leaves, was finally discovered. In a desperate attempt to prevent its destruction, half of our tribe's soldiers were slaughtered by the Glints, but it was too late. The work of poaching brigades had already begun. Others are whispering about an epidemic of women hanging themselves in the area, but no one understands its cause or what kind of disease it is. They're speaking in hushed tones about a supposed sacrifice to the mother god, but it's clear they don't know anything. Desperation to survive is palpable, and they're convinced that the current calamity is Mother God's revenge. They're preparing for war, determined to avenge her name, and will soon arrive at the village with an army of silenced plants. The jungle itself seems to be holding its breath in anticipation of the impending battle. The village is in chaos. What just happened? Mysterious, ancient text lies before me, its secrets waiting to be unearthed in the heart of Cyborg's capital city. In the jungle, there exists a deity so mighty that its power transcends even the spirits themselves. Some might say it's because God simply is. Along the way, he discloses the intricacies of creation to those who seek wisdom, but only on his terms, for his ways are not always easy to comprehend. We have heard of your legendary power and bravery. The young ones speak of you with awe and reverence. We ask that you lend us your strength, for we are facing a great challenge. Fate hangs in the balance as Geronimo reveals the devastating consequences of their actions. The white men, fueled by greed and destruction, have left a trail of devastation in their wake. The once thriving jungle is now on the brink of collapse, and the temple, a sacred site for the Oer tribe, is under threat of destruction. Yes, the reason I came here is to protect the home of Mother God from those ruthless poachers. Pray for our victory and prepare yourselves, for we will soon be performing a great battle, the communion of the howler monkey. It was over, and we would finally face Geronimo. Of this twisted ritual, they seek to create a warpaint born from blood and chaos. With the essence of Jagler's crimson life force, they aim to unleash a fierce power that will consume all in its path, fueled by the sacred blood of innocent young Dalsters and the strength of their ancestral totems. It takes 2 holy Hulips and 6 ferocious warriors to traverse the treacherous jungle and reach the temple. The ritual's true purpose is shrouded in mystery, but one thing is certain: only the bravest will survive its horrors. In the Amazon jungle, remnants of an ancient civilization hold secrets that have never been fully uncovered. The Temple of the Mother God is one such enigmatic structure, shrouded in mystery and awe-inspiring to behold. I finally found him. That's the poacher I've been tracking for weeks. And look, he's got a familiar face with him. It can't be. Temple, the mother god's sacred place, is now under siege by a ruthless gang of tomb robbers and poachers.
Their leader, Don Geronimo, seems to be everywhere, leaving no stone unturned in his quest for treasure.
Meanwhile, Geronimo and his team must navigate the darkness, their eyes scanning the shadows for any sign of danger. As they ponder their next move, will they join forces with the rebels or protect the temple from those who would seek to desecrate it?
Shifts to the tent, where three people are exchanging their work shifts, their voices muffled by the canvas walls.
What sound? Do it now.
As through the temple gates, the sound of their arrival echoed through the ancient halls.
A number that holds so much significance, yet means nothing at all.
It burns like a wildfire, fueled by the injustice that has been perpetrated against him. The sounds have stopped, but Ipanemo's power is still coursing through us, and we know he will not be silenced.
What's on here? It looks like someone's trying to send a warning, but it's been garbled beyond recognition.
Could it be? The assassin's bullet was supposed to kill him, not just scratch the surface.
What kind of human is he that can withstand such a blow?
Al finally found his voice. Sacrifice hangs heavy in the air, a reminder that sometimes the cost is too great.
Luck.
You were careless, thinking you could take on the entire jungle without a guarantee of success.
The enemy could have been anywhere, and your instincts proved to be right on target.
The man's voice still linger in the air, a haunting reminder of his presence that was both fierce and fleeting.
I possibly think that. It can't be. That's not even possible.
On here, is this some kind of twisted parody or
an experiment of life, where humans coexist with cybernetic beings? Is it justice to sacrifice one for the sake of another?
The line between good and evil blurs as humanity questions the morality of its own existence. Well, I've listened to your words, but now it's time for action.
Will you put aside our differences and join me in this fight against the true enemy?
Violence will be your downfall, but you have one last chance to redeem yourself and join us. Refuse, and you'll suffer the same fate as those who dared to oppose our superior might. The choice is yours, but know that resistance will only lead to your demise.
Between 31 and 2 is a significant one.
Silence, a single word hung in the air.
He's going to faint again, is he? Because he fainted this one time? Give me a break.
Frustration in Sirio's voice echoes through the room as he screams for everyone to wake up. His cries fall on deaf ears, and it seems like they've all given up, resigned to their fate. Is closing in around them, the terror on their faces a stark reminder of their desperate situation. God's saga begins, with a mysterious and ominous tone setting the stage for what's to come. Exactly what I'm thinking. What a fool was he to think I'd go on a journey like this with him.
The flame chef, indeed.
He's got some nerve calling himself that when his food needs all the flavor it can get from fire.
And now he expects me to be his transportation, both vehicle and meal? I'm not just a culinary cyborg, you know.
Understanding the source of life is crucial, and it's something that has been known for several years now. It's as simple as recognizing that food is what sustains us all, giving us the energy to keep going, just like a vital force within us drives our very existence.
Are you going to close the shop now, with all this equipment still here?
The store's still got some life left in it, I can see that.
The memories linger, just like the remnants of what used to be here. Bringing back the past, maybe? Who? Is the counter seat okay with you? Would you like a meal for me, too?
He's struggling to remember the name of a liquor he had in the past, trying to recall it from fragmented memories. The desperation and frustration are palpable as he searches for answers.
This, some kind of joke. When I came back, and you came back, what are you talking about? And then suddenly we're talking about a box, a movie, and dates. 2999, 2010. It's all just a mess.
His worn pages revealed a life of turmoil and struggle, yet his eyes sparkled with the same fire that had driven him to piece together the fragmented memories of his youth. His words were laced with a deep longing for connection, as if seeking to share the weight of his experiences with someone willing to listen. Like paradise of Shangri-La, 'cause words echoed a truth that seemed too good to be true, a place where age was just a distant memory. I spoke, 'cause eyes seemed to glaze over, haunted by memories of the past, and the words of a mysterious stranger echoed in his mind. Perpetual youth, he whispered, as if the very thought sent shivers down his spine. At the precipice of Mount Kailashi, a beam of light illuminated me from behind, and my companions stared in awe as we finally reached our destination after a treacherous journey. Light is spreading through the mountains like a wild flame, consuming everything in its path. Pilgrims and mountain climbers from other lands dare not tread alone on this sacred mountain. Some unknown entity is waiting for them at the entrance to the land of immortality. Unspeakable scent of the gods, it's a smell that can't be mistaken, the food of longevity, and I'm not just talking about any old food, but the very source of life itself. What are you shaking for? Has it that the Yeti, a creature of ancient lore, has made its appearance in Shangri-La, a village of immortals? Some say it's a relic from an era long past, a Neanderthal survivor who has managed to thrive for centuries in this mystical land. But what does its presence here mean? Is it a sign of something important, or just a strange anomaly in the world of the living? It appears to be a fragment of text with missing or unclear words, but it can be deciphered as follows. What world is going on here? A Yeti just appeared out of nowhere, and it's playing a haunting melody on that horn. Where did this creature come from, and what does it want? Sudden disappearance is a mystery, and it seems that the Yeti has a strong aversion to its sound. Its reluctance to confront the horn is quite peculiar, don't you think? It's unfolding at an incredible pace, as if time itself has been warped. The figure's speed is nothing short of astonishing, leaving behind no footprints in the snow, as if they're gliding across the ground with an otherworldly ease. And yet, despite this seemingly impossible feat, there are still doubts. Can it truly be that fast? And we can't let the Yeti do everything. The cold wind is biting, and I say we make haste for the pig village, but what if it's already shaking to its foundations? We welcome those who refuse to leave, and we certainly don't welcome those who play games with us. That's our motto. In the mystical realm of Shangri-La, where the air is sweet with the scent of blooming flowers and the sky shines bright with an otherworldly light, a paradise on earth reveals its secrets to those who seek it. The meaning of this mysterious message, scribbled on a page from an ancient tome. The words seem to dance across the page, taunting and teasing with their cryptic clues. 80 years have passed, yet he should still be young. But why does age linger on his face like a perpetual shadow? And what of the old one who claims to exist here? Is it a trickster or a guide? The words seem to whisper secrets in my ear, but I must decipher their code before the truth slips away once more. The caretaker of this villa, assure you that nothing is stolen. We share everything among all residents, and there's no need for a key to enter our homes. It contains the treasure that is the heart of this village's history, but it remains locked, and its importance lies not in what's inside, but in the secret that's been hidden within. We welcome you with preparing dinner's special dishes. In that case, all means I want to find out what they're cooking. If it's 4 dishes I've never seen before, I must see it at once. Where's the kitchen? Whirlwind of activity. The preparations for tonight's dinner are in full swing, and I must say, the energy in this kitchen is palpable. As the head chef, I'm delighted to oversee the final touches on our signature special dishes, an exquisite fusion of culinary traditions that will surely impress even the most discerning palates. Ventured deeper into the heart of the mysterious facility, the air thickened with an otherworldly energy, and the whispers of ancient secrets echoed through the corridors. The door is locked, and it's possible that the key might be in the open room. They have been feasting, and their hunger is insatiable. This quest has led them to the fabled Topa, a realm where time itself is said to be twisted and distorted. Yet, as they search for answers, their path becomes increasingly treacherous, and the weight of their own mortality threatens to consume them.
What world is going on here, and who or what is making that unearthly noise?
The world's secrets bears down upon us all, yet none as heavy as the burden that this one carries, a power so great it has been hidden from sight for many ages.
The same man who's been power-hungry and manipulative, or is he genuinely concerned for our well-being?
Centuries of research and devotion, the secrets of the reishi mushroom's medicinal properties were finally within reach. But now, it seems that progress has been snuffed out by petty squabbles over power and prestige. All heaven and earth decrees that these worker ants are but mere mortals, unworthy of her notice, yet Sheba W knows that even the most foolish and rash of leaders may still find redemption in their haste. It unfolds as the main character stumbles upon a shocking discovery: the ropes are brutally severed, leaving behind a gruesome trail of evidence.
The once tight bindings now hang limply, a stark reminder of the violence that has transpired here.
The air is thick with tension as our protagonists' eyes widen in horror, their mind racing to comprehend the sheer brutality of what they're witnessing. Digit standing alone, a reminder that even the smallest details can hold significance.
Runes read 7 Fates 0.
Most of the village is nothing but rubble.
Pie. But this is.
Where the line between reality and manipulation is blurred, one begins to question what true happiness truly means.
Is Shangri-La a utopia or just a cleverly crafted illusion?
Out on the bridge, the weight of their own emotions and the fate of others hung in the balance, making every step forward feel like a desperate gamble.
He's been playing me all along. What if his power isn't just about fire breathing? Yelling about, y'all? What's going on here?
Destroy mayhem at any time.
I'm the greatest, there's no one else. Match for me is no less. So that she can't read my moves, won't think anything, I'll clear my mind. Are there others with powers? How many? Like him? 9 people. Oh, Icho, there are quite a few of them, yes? Have a meeting, all if they're of the same inclined, perhaps they would become old comrades?
I thought of him still being trapped in that accursed labyrinth, perhaps now forever lost to me.
Fell over the city.
Maniacal laughter echoes through the cavernous space as a figure, adorned in a twisted version of Santa's attire, cackles with glee.
And it's finally over. No more suffering.
Words echoed in my mind, a haunting reminder of the danger that lurked in the shadows. Those words still stung, and I knew that I couldn't ignore them any longer.
And at the threshold of humanity, gazing upon the ruins of our actions, I am left to ponder, are we truly modern people, or simply aberrations in the grand tapestry of time? Have we driven the Yeti from its habitat, only to threaten its very existence, all in the name of progress and data collection?
To question the gods and demand justice for the slaughtered villagers, when all along it was they who were supposed to be invincible. His gaze is suffocating me, and I'm paralyzed with fear.
What should I do? Should I run or try to escape his grasp? But where can I go? You're supposed to tell me what to do, not just stare at me like that.
In her bid to hold back the darkness, she transforms into a being of great power, standing tall against the forces of Holt Ceranomies in a land of mystical energies and ancient magic, where the whispers of the forest seem to carry on the wind. The trees loom above her, their branches twisted and gnarled with age, as if they too have witnessed the struggles of this world for centuries. I can't help but notice the irony in Mr. Britton's sudden claim of being right after all these years, especially when he was known for his popular stage success back then and even had a luscious head of hair to boot. And that light-hearted, wavering smile always seemed to be lingering on his face, as if he was already nostalgic for the past, wondering if it's too late to turn things around now that more than 10 years have passed. It was a cycle of depravity, marked by darkness and desperation. I had lost myself to the bottle, and my nights were spent with different women, seeking fleeting escapes from the emptiness within. If it weren't for that fateful encounter with Glinia Wagpie, I might have succumbed to the abyss of despair, a cyborg without purpose or humanity. Those were my bottom days, when life seemed devoid of meaning and hope was a distant memory. Into acting has been a welcome sight, and he's been receiving all the leading roles with ease. But amidst his success, I wonder if he's lost touch with our carefree days, when we'd dream of performing together on stage. The sudden change in him is jarring, and it feels like everyone else has moved on without us. We're missing a crucial detail. The dressing room door was open, and yet there's no sign of anyone accessing the theater from that floor. It's as if they vanished into thin air. To decide, the fate of the performance hangs in the balance. Should we cancel it or risk everything? The finale of The Gods 839 conclusion is here, marking the end of War 3 greater than 9, and the beginning of a new era in the Phantom Theater, Part 1, where ISSLE 12 brings forth a legendary tale. Meanwhile, Frank Plaver's theater and Zay Arake Mauer's 74C4 are making waves with their latest productions, while the original story by Ishinomori Shotaro and Onoderajo is brought to life by Sugar Sato's magnificent illustrations in VRCS. Back onto the stage with my 4 friends for the first time in 10 years, I'm reminded of the legendary Great Britain, also known as 007. And now, I have the role of a lifetime, playing the father of Ophelia, the main heroine. Those days, when I shone bright on stage, full of life and energy. The rehearsals were all-consuming, but the strict schedule was relentless, just 4 10-day practice periods, that's all. And yet, Tony asks me, why aren't you loving it? Words hung in the air, a challenge to Yoel's apparent indifference. The empty stage seemed to amplify the tension between them, each waiting for the other to break the silence that had become suffocating. Why indeed was Yoel so quiet, refusing to respond to Tono's increasingly erratic outbursts? A mysterious figure, dressed in black and with a pale face. Tony's words are laced with confusion and possibly even fear as he tries to make sense of the situation. The actress in question seems to have vanished into thin air, leaving behind only questions and uncertainties. This phenomenon occurred at the theater 50 years ago, and now, something is happening to the actress's body. The withdrawal of the lead actress sent shockwaves through the entire production, leaving her emotionally unstable and often on the brink of dementia. Confining herself to her dressing room, she struggled to cope with the news, ultimately being replaced by her understudy due to concerns for her safety and well-being. Acted on stage as the actress's body contorted in a twisted, unnatural pose, her limbs bent at impossible angles, sending shockwaves of fear through the director and crew. It has been plagued by a mysterious curse, where every actor who set foot in the room-op dress room afterwards met a strange and untimely end. What's going on here, and who are these people in the middle of a chaotic battle? This is fleeting, as the remnants of a night well-lived still linger. Handwriting on the wall seems to be a mix of code and nonsense, with letters and symbols scattered randomly. In complete darkness, paralyzed with fear. I don't dare make a sound, but my heart is racing with every tick of the clock. What's happening? Why can't I see anything? On the door was a stark reminder of the reality they were about to face. Dressed in a black costume that resembled stage attire, stood motionless at the wings of the stage, her expression unchanged as she gazed out into the empty auditorium. In the air is suffocating, and I can feel her presence like a weight on my skin. Every fiber of my being is screaming for me to run, but my feet seem rooted to the spot as I'm trapped by her piercing gaze. The sensation of her warm breath on my cheek is making my heart race with an otherworldly fear. The treatment is failing, and we're running out of time. Lieutenant Lancel is trying to compensate with the remaining systems, but it's not enough. If we don't act fast, everything will collapse. 4 little problems with the narration that was recorded yesterday. The truth is, scribble on the wall, the only clue to a mysterious message. The numbers 33 seem to be repeated, with an almost imperceptible doodle of DLE-O in the margin. Is this a code, or just the ramblings of someone who couldn't resist leaving their mark? Prank videos, but this one takes it to a whole new level. Someone's going all out to make it look like a real ghost is haunting the place. But what if it's not just a prank? What if there really is something supernatural at play here?
Should we cancel the show or keep investigating? Us here.
They're trying to cancel the show, but it seems like every possible thing that can go wrong is happening.
The management is at odds with Mike, and now they're questioning whether he's even showing up. And what's with all these creatures? What's going on?
A burst of anxiety echoes through the air. You're still no closer to finding what you're looking for, Captain.
The outline of a figure lingers on the edge of perception.
The conclusion of the war arc has finally arrived.
Is this really the end, or is there more to come?
The credits roll as we bid farewell to another chapter in the Ishinomori Shotaro saga. Ups as people begin falling from the sky, and Brita's shocked reaction turns to concern as she tries to make sense of what's happening.
The carnage of war, a haunting question echoes through the streets of Trafalgar Square. What drove everyone to such desperation? The once beloved area now lies in ruins, a testament to the chaos that has consumed the city.
Charlie's disappearance still lingers, leaving behind only questions and the eerie feeling of being watched. Jane's tears mingle with the faces of others who gazed upon the fallen, their expressions etched with a mix of grief and confusion. The tally is stark, 36 bodies in total, each one a reminder of the devastating cost of war.
You tell me that Mike's disappearance is connected to the series of murders we've been investigating? That he's one of the bodies we found?
Eklid's eyes narrowed as he pondered the sequence of events. He couldn't shake off the feeling that something didn't add up, that there was a reason why one particular person would be left out of the 36 victims.
What was it?
The fact that 6 of those things were found with glinting objects on them near the door in the so-called Forbidden Room only added to his unease.
And what did this place even mean by calling it the Forbidden Room, anyway? This?
A mysterious figure with an enigmatic smile.
What secrets lie behind these piercing eyes?
A horseshoe was found on the road, a clue that suggests the culprit jumped from the window in a frantic attempt to escape.
But what does this mysterious symbol, MKE, mean? And who is behind these cryptic markings?
The phone trails were useless, and reservations had become more important than a homicide in the theater itself. I shake the feeling that someone was watching me, especially after what happened to Mike. The thought of a killer still on the loose, and the fact that Frank had entrusted me with these production notes, only fueled my determination to catch him. But little did I know, this was just the tip of the iceberg. Production plan and day-to-day practice continued. A strange phenomenon started to occur. Performers would pray and scream. At first, it was gradual, but by the end of the description, panic set in. The director's words, "Please help," echoed through the studio as he watched in horror, scribbling furiously on his script. The study of Shakespeare's tragic hero that led me to investigate the connections between madness and mortality in literature.
Memory of a play we shared the stage in, perhaps?
I recall an actor who played Hamlet at the Queen's Theatre last year. His piercing eyes seemed familiar. The attempt to hide the scar is more than just a superficial concern, it's a deep-seated issue that speaks to his insecurities about his appearance. The fact that he worked hard to conceal it on stage suggests that he's been haunted by this imperfection for a long time, and the lack of description about its origin only adds to the mystery. Similarities between the victims are starting to unsettle me, especially the peculiar scar on their left cheeks. It's as if they're all connected in some twisted way, and I'm beginning to suspect that Edward Mitchell's sudden disappearance is more than just a coincidence.
It has taken hold of the theater crowd.
In Hamlet, the prince himself uses a troupe of entertainers to stage a play that reenacts his father's murder.
But is this just a clever ruse to test the audience's reaction? Or is there something more sinister at play? The devastation that war can bring.
I know you're surprised by my great effort to come here today, but I'm not asking for much. Just listen to my story and help me rid of him. We were invaded a long time ago, and he was the one who brought destruction upon our land.
Really overcome the darkness within yourself, Mr. Britain, and break free from its grasp?
Echoed in my mind like a curse, but I pushed them aside, trying to convince myself it was just a dream.
Yet the problem remained: if it was real, what did it mean? And why did it sound so eerily familiar, like something from Hamlet itself?
Curtains drew open, a hushed silence fell over the packed theater, with all eyes fixed on the stage, eager to witness the culmination of weeks of anticipation.
Mitchell was a renowned actor, best known for his iconic portrayal of Hamlet in Britain.
However, 6 months after his death, the police were still searching for him, fueled by a cryptic clue: a wolf-like figure on one of his personal effects. The investigation led them to conclude it was indeed him through DNA analysis and other evidence. But as they delved deeper, a question arose: was Mitchell's involvement in the mysterious events that transpired truly just a coincidence? Which feeling, like déjà vu, but this time it's not just a coincidence, it's him, the one who knows my past. The investigation is going off the rails, and it's clear that Edward Mitchell's disappearance has sent shockwaves through the team.
Frank's frantic search for answers has only led to more questions, like whose debris was found on the stage, and what happened to the heel of his shoe. What's on here? It looks like someone or something has broken into this place. What's cryptic message even mean? Is this some kind of code or just a bunch of random letters and numbers? Gone completely off script, and now it seems like the actors are losing their minds.
Entry: the words IHG40511 etched into a worn notebook, accompanied by an odd symbol and a series of seemingly unrelated numbers. The significance of this entry remains unclear, but its presence here suggests that even in the most mundane moments, hidden truths can lie in wait.
You found me, but I'm just a test subject. The one who killed Mikkel was not the one you're looking for. And even if it was, why would I ever forgive anyone for such a thing?
You're barking up the wrong tree, friend.
Hold on.
There's been a garbled transmission.
Someone's got a haunting question on their mind. What's on here?
1 minute you're asking if I'm from Britain, and the next, you're shouting at me about being revived, and now you're talking about a strange dream.
What's all this about?
Anticipated translation of GCANSBTQUNKSHNO is finally coming this May, and fans are eagerly awaiting the release of Volume 13. After years of anticipation, the wait is almost over for those who have been following the series. The conclusion to the story arc has been teased with hints of a dramatic finale. Immediate response to discovering extraterrestrial life was a highly confidential project codenamed ALT, with a team dispatched to Mars to investigate further. The mission followed an earlier incident in which a rover went missing on the planet, and prior to that, a probe from Mars intercepted unidentified communications approximately 2 years ago.
Annie Bowman's mission to Mars has been shrouded in secrecy for 2 years, but its true nature remains unknown. The Mars expedition, led by Bowman, is about to embark on a top-secret mission that has sparked dissent among its members.
They've confirmed their plans through satellite email and voicemail, but tensions are running high as they prepare for a prolonged 8-month stay on the Red Planet.
The moment we've all been waiting for, the culmination of years of hard work and dedication.
Gary Patrick leads the final countdown as Warren Anderson takes control of the mission, while Robert Bates looks on with pride. Where words hold power. His mother frantically called the airport, but her plane had vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and worries that still lingered in the hearts of those who loved her. The desperate search for answers continues, but even in this dire situation, his mother and he still haven't been informed about their official acceptance of the mission. The irony is palpable as they're investigating the exact same waters where her plane went missing, and yet, no debris has been found, raising more questions than answers. The waters of the Bermuda Triangle hold many secrets, but none as mysterious as the Bermuda Triangle itself. Despite numerous warnings and dire predictions, many have ventured into this treacherous region, never to return. Theories abound about the strange occurrences that plague this area, where even the most advanced technology can fail. The others have been in space for 3 months, having traveled 10 million kilometers away from Earth. Now, they're descending 5,000 meters to the bottom of the sea, once again. As continues to investigate the strange occurrences, they're met with another bizarre incident, leaving them questioning their own safety and sanity amidst the eerie signals emanating from Mars. As desperate warning echoes through the minds of those who dare to venture into the depths, where even the slightest mistake can prove fatal. Captain Henry McAlyre's words still haunt me, "It's instant death, you're thrown out," a stark reminder of the unforgiving environment that awaits us all.
Artificial skin, I can adapt to any environment, the sea's surface or its depths.
But it comes with a price. These scales are an affront to nature. It wasn't until I met her that the darkness started to lift, and for the first time in a long while, I felt like myself again. The silence was deafening, and for a moment, it seemed like the entire world had come to a standstill. Words spoke still echo in my heart, "Cecilia." Every word that fell like a stone into the emptiness I had become. You filled it with love and light, making you irreplaceable to me above all else. But now, I'm lost again, and the pain of being hated for who I am feels like a weight crushing me. I try to focus on our mission, but the memories linger, taunting me. Delve deeper into the uncharted terrain, the team's mission to unravel the mysteries of the deep is hindered by the sheer scale and complexity of this alien world. Despite numerous attempts to map and survey the area, the vast expanse of mountains and valleys has proven treacherous to navigate. 45 minutes since the first one descended into the lower 45 water, and still we're receiving no signals. The camera is down, but the impact was close range. It's almost as if something else was involved in this expedition. This is almost palpable, and yet, I can see the countless silhouettes stretching out before us, their presence illuminated by the faint glow of the searchlight. It's as if we've stumbled into a vast, eerie landscape of sleeping giants, their forms eerily reminiscent of pyramids that seem to sprout from the very earth itself. The air is heavy with an unsettling stillness, and I wonder how it is that so many have congregated in this forsaken place.
They seem to swallow everything whole. Dynamics have reached a breaking point as tensions escalate and personalities clash.
Bowman's masochistic behavior continues to cause concern, while Warren Anderson's erratic outbursts only add to the chaos.
Meanwhile, Barry Patrick's frustration boils over, and Robert Bates' sudden regression into senility has everyone on edge. As past, the effects of the phenomenon only intensified, leaving Bowman and others struggling to comprehend their new reality. The line between normalcy and chaos was becoming increasingly blurred.
Of a lifetime are slipping away, lost in the passage of time.
If I hadn't been here, would I still be among the living? What's on here?
It looks like Ship _ is getting a power boost from those scales.
And are those fins? Is Physicourse taking advantage of the situation to jump around like a dolphin? Wait, what happened just now?
Something strange has occurred. The temple's hidden entrance, revealed by the sonar scans, is said to be connected to a chain of pyramids located nearby, each one emitting a unique energy signature. But this is not a typical underwater scene with a floating whale. The sheer size of the whale would make it an unfeasible sight in reality. The roar echoes through the cavernous hall as Gwahil lets out a primal battle cry. To manipulate us, but what if this entity isn't even interested in eating me? It should have already attacked by now. Into the dark abyss, a shark frenzy surrounding me like a nightmare come to life. No clue where I am in this endless darkness. I can't even see my hand in front of me, let alone the depths below. Diving at such reckless speed, I've managed to shake off some of the sharks, but I'm not out of danger yet, 3,000 meters down and still descending. Every passing moment feels like an eternity as I hurtle towards the bottom, my heart racing with every jolt and shudder. My eyes snapped open to the sound of the alarm, and he was met with a sight that made his blood run cold. Gary Patrick's body floated lifelessly in the airlock, a stark reminder that something had gone terribly wrong. The others were supposed to be asleep, but it seemed they weren't so lucky after all. As the team's communication systems fail, and with it, their only lifeline to the outside world. It was supposed to be one of triumph and exploration, but instead it's been nothing but unanswered questions.
What did they discover down there in the dark depths of the submarine? And what happened to them after they finally reached their destination?
This looks like a temple, but something's not quite right. The architecture is similar to the ancient Maya and Inca civilizations, but with some strange modifications.
And what's this symbol on the wall?
It looks like a mix of languages, but I can't decipher its meaning. In an attempt to survive, the residents are building something new on this desolate planet, using their primitive skills to harness an otherworldly energy that could be their only hope for escape.
They seem to be from a different world, their clothes and armor unlike anything we've seen before.
But what's most striking is the aura of defeat that surrounds them. They're clearly not in control here. As ESP Power's wings burst forth, they soar towards the heavens in a desperate bid to escape the unknown threat looming behind them. Digit, a solitary number that hangs in the air like an unspoken promise. That these beings have more to them than meets the eye.
Repeat, a relentless cycle with no escape.
In a desperate bid for survival, the people of BPCO-42 face an even greater challenge beneath the waves. Thick with anticipation as the inhabitants of this planet, their eyes closed in unison, tap into a collective consciousness that transcends mere mortal understanding. As motion quickened, its occupants struggled to comprehend the impossible forces at play, their faces contorted in a mixture of fear and awe. The very fabric of reality seemed to be unraveling before their eyes. As the galaxy trembled, thousands of creatures emerged from the depths, their scales glinting in the fading light. The city was filled with life, as every single one of them was hue and completely uniform. They began constructing a massive pyramid, layer upon layer of people gravitating towards the center, like tiny balls on a string. Even from a distance, their sheer numbers were noticeable, and the nearby gas spheres seemed to be drawn in, touching the slink walls with an otherworldly presence. The light are somehow using these ancient structures to help the inhabitants of this planet. It's as if they're creating a new world, a Noah's Ark for the modern age. As he scanned the horizon of Mars, his mind racing with the weight of their uncertain situation. 2 weeks past the expected arrival date, and still no signal from Earth. His order was to get on board the Mars lander, and as he plotted the coordinates onto Spaceslit, he couldn't shake off the feeling that they might not make it back. The life support systems hummed in the background, a constant reminder of their fragile existence on this unforgiving planet. Rocket engines roaring back to life, the Mars lander was preparing for a perilous ascent back to the main body of the spaceship, but Bowman knew it would be nearly impossible to return alive. He understood that in a situation where no one is left in command, the journey back would be extremely difficult, and he was already preparing himself for the worst. Based upon the rust-red landscape, I couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and trepidation. The swirling dunes seemed to stretch on forever, like an endless sea of crimson sand.
And yet, amidst this alien beauty, I felt a pang of homesickness for the familiar blue skies of Earth.
I was suddenly covered in a swirling vortex of stones and rocks, as if the very Earth itself was being pulled apart. I'd never seen anything like this before. It was as if the stones were being drawn into some kind of massive, ancient power that was building itself up, pyramid by pyramid, with each one towering above the last. From the pyramids on Mars, they were meant to be a beacon, a call to those who possess the ESP powers, but what was the true purpose behind this ancient transmission? His encounter with those strange spheres is a crucial moment in the crew's investigation, and it's clear that Cece Island and George are just as puzzled as they are. A scream of frustration echoes through the abandoned alleyway. Left. In through the void, the world above and below blur into an endless expanse of nothingness. Eyes locked onto the strange, expressionless face that stared back at him, its features seemingly chiseled from the very rock itself. The world around him seemed to grow quieter, as if the very fabric of reality had been torn apart, leaving only an unsettling stillness in its wake. To this rocky outcropping, the memories of our ill-fated expedition flood back, the pyramids, the ancient traps, and the senseless slaughter that followed. The people of light, fleeing from their invaders, leaving me behind, alone in the depths of the sea, searching for some kind of power on a regular basis. This speed is unimaginable, yet I'm forced to try and gather allies, trying to signal my companions who pass through, hoping against hope to muster reinforcements. I was a catalyst for their escape, altering the course of history on this planet. It appeared to be Mars,
But could it have been a Martian vessel in disguise, reactivated by some unknown force?
The question hung in the air like a challenge. The 9 chosen ones hangs in the balance, and I am the only one who can save them from this role that was thrust upon me. As cosmos unfolds its mysteries before me, the distant stars steadily grow in my vision, their gentle glow revealing the intricate tapestry of celestial maps. The notes scrawled on the wall seem to be a puzzle, referencing an event from January 2012 involving Pyonma and Bowman.
But what connection did it have to the cyanal phenomenon that had been plaguing the city? Going home alive, and you can record this ridiculous conversation as proof. This is my last message to whoever's listening. You can't stop me now. That's my best friend we're talking about, and I'm not going to let you silence him.
Erupted as the pyramids, born from Mars itself, descended upon Earth with unrelenting fury, their roots dug deep into the Martian soil as they swooped down one by one, their attacks seemingly unstoppable. Lit, post-apocalyptic landscape, I hung suspended, the sole object drifting aimlessly in the empty sky. The pyramid that encased me stood as a testament to an era long past, one where life forms ravaged this planet with calculated ferocity, their programming driving them to attack without mercy or quarter.
These words echo through my mind as I feel the presence of something divine. Is it truly the feeling of God? But what about the Martians who escaped and were being chased for revenge? And the people of light who brought me here, there's an invisible presence, a sensation that's hard to describe. It's not the same feeling, but one that's eerily familiar.
Ishinomori, the renowned archaeologist and cyborg, stood before the prestigious Kaguya University. He couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and responsibility as its leader. His gentle heart, however, was about to be put to the test by a mysterious event that threatened the very foundations of his world. The team, led by Professor Sarwatari Kyoju, delved deeper into the mysteries of Yanaguni Island. They began to uncover a web of secrets and conspiracies that threatened to upend their understanding of history. The island's ancient monoliths, once thought to be natural formations, now seemed to hold a dark and sinister significance. And at the heart of it all was Ida Shinta, an old friend of Gilmore's, who had been secretly working with the team for months. But what secrets lay hidden on that fateful night in 1970? Senpai looks at the excavation site. He's both excited and a bit apprehensive about what they might discover. The pre-Ergomon period civilization of the even route the Opi seems to be shrouded in mystery, but Professor's pet theory could hold the key to unlocking its secrets.
Finally getting ready to transport the artifact, and Professor Shima is reminding them to handle it with care.
Let's move carefully and make sure nothing gets damaged.
Absolutely, we can't afford any mistakes.
Please be gentle when handling these beans, whatever they are, they seem fragile.
The boy's luck has run out, but can he still turn things around?
The memories of his last visit are etched vividly in his mind, especially the red boys who failed to reach their full potential. Ventured deeper into the hollow cave, the flickering flames from the lamps danced ominously, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Suddenly, a faint whisper echoed through the air. Over here. At the left and the right, 5 colons at the top, and colon 10 at the bottom. It's hard to believe that anything could possibly work, but I think it'll roll this way easily. Still, I'm not sure what could be inside. Not even on Earth could something so small hold such weight. Behind the explosion's uncontrolled blast radius was not its power, but rather a fundamental flaw in the design of the beam mine itself. Bring the MOAI further away from the cliff, and I propose we do it by taking it out of the cave first.
That will give us more mobility. But how will we get it out?
We'll need to increase the buoyancy so it floats on the surface of the sea, back to the boat. We can do it today, and have it lifted directly onto the ship using a whole crane. And who knows, there might even be examples of Jaman pottery like this one discovered in other parts of the world. It is already a long way from Tokyo, but we still need to find the right manpower and resources to make it happen. I want us to begin preparations immediately, but first, let's focus on what we have and don't get ahead of ourselves.
What do you think?
The writing on the wall spells out a cryptic message, but it seems to be some sort of warning or prophecy.
Amidst the scribbled letters and symbols, one phrase stands out: full fu. Could this be a reference to an ancient ritual or incantation?
Powerful famales have finally arrived, and we're glad to have your help, y'all.
We've kept you waiting, but it's time to get down to business.
The esteemed Daria Sensei has invited us to partake in a meal together, a gesture that we are deeply humbled by, despite my own humble station as an archaeologist. The ancient site is a mess, and it seems the previous theory has been turned upside down.
Is that what Dr. Trelawney is trying to tell me? And what's with all these cryptic notes, PRESLMP, to us, BLT, what do they even mean?
This crystal ball, a tool of dark and ancient power, holds the secrets of your heart's deepest desires. Gaze into its depths, and the bad will reveal to you the truth.
If I know something about the secret meeting last night at Akasaka? With Kogain Gang's boss?
I'm not surprised, considering the public reception of 1 million yen. Standing on the mark, behind my back, she's talking about the previously mentioned archaeological expedition, claiming they can have logical ships finding and manpower available immediately.
It's paltry compared to the finds of Miss Hijui's great discovery, but yes, indeed. The figure stands beside a worn Toyota with the number 7 emblazoned on its side.
Deep in the midst of investigating the rows of gemline moai statues, poring over every instruction from Professor Kaguya with an intensity that bordered on obsession. Sayas, shrouded in mystery and legend. They say the moai statues are not just mere monuments, but vessels for ancient gods who once walked among mortals. Some claim that a powerful sorcerer imbued them with magic, levitating them into the air.
But what lies behind these enigmatic sculptures?
The whispers of an ancient hero, Birdman, echo through the wind.
Can we unravel the secrets hidden within these stones and uncover the truth behind this mystical place? What sorcery is this? The Birdman's legendary saxophone is said to hold the secrets of the universe, but can it truly be real? What's the crazy device doing here? It's not even in acceleration mode, it says 4% and then just stops, it's like it got cut off. And what's with the weird symbols and numbers at the end? This thing looks like a puzzle that refuses to make sense. Yet intriguing sequence. Arrival is a surprise to everyone.
Reads 1 week later with a faint scribble of 9, followed by help.
Me underscore and some unknown symbol. It's like the sender was in a rush, but what's really getting to them is the question why or YOL heap. And if that wasn't enough, there's this jumbled mess at the end, Hisley. It looks like a desperate cry for help or maybe just a frustrated scream. In introduction, Hiskey stunned the audience with his fortune-telling skills on 4 television programs, sponsored by one company. As the truth began to unravel, those who had been living in denial found themselves on the brink of chaos. The accusations that had once seemed so far-fetched now hung in the air like a challenge, forcing even the most hardened skeptics to confront the unthinkable. And at the center of it all, Himiko stood tall, her crystal ball reflecting the turmoil that was about to erupt. This prophecy had spoken of a great change, and it seemed that the arrival of Himiko, the queen, was the catalyst for this transformation. Her name, once unknown to most, had become the hottest topic around the nation, and soon, her fame would spread across the seas. The Prime Minister's office is in chaos after Himiko's sudden appearance before Parliament, leaving everyone stunned and wondering what secrets she might reveal about the nation's population growth and government expectations. Control is absolute, and they care little for the responsibilities that come with it. They're a tiresome bunch, driven by their own selfish desires rather than any sense of duty or compassion. And as long as the poll goes in their favor, they'll continue to do whatever they please, without regard for anyone else's thoughts or feelings. The secrets of TRLE horoscopes are slowly being uncovered, as FRALDLLNTT million IPS underscore and the University Prof underscore Essiers, along with presidents of large companies underscore, are all confessing to their role in the scandal, some even resigning or fired, while others make empty promises and frequent slips. The peaceful town had become a sea of flames, as if the very fabric of reality was unraveling. The sound of people willingly jumping into the inferno echoed through the streets,
a desperate attempt to escape the all-consuming blaze that had engulfed everything in its path. Himiko stood at the center of the ritual, her presence seemed to command the very air around her, and the worshipful gaze of the crowd only intensified the aura of reverence that surrounded her. The world hangs in the balance as the war between gods rages on, and the goddess's conspiracy threatens to destroy everything. And on the battlefield, I'm consumed by a mix of emotions. Is this what it feels like to be alive? Or am I just dreaming? The weight of my past actions hangs heavy in the air, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to face the consequences. Support for Himiko grows, but so do the riots and public marches demanding change.
What's going on here? You're telling me that this moss is supposed to be some kind of clue?
This is ridiculous. Look at it, it's just stuck behind the statue.
What am I missing?
We stumbled upon something incredible here, a statue that's been trapped underwater for so long it's developed this strange, dried moss. It bears an uncanny resemblance to the Moai statues from Easter Island. I'm not sure what to make of this discovery, but I think we have to consider the possibility that it's connected to those mysterious statues on Yonaguni Island.
What do you think? Should we bring Miss Hijui in on this or keep exploring?
The nation's success is no trivial matter, Father.
Hisley's office has been searching for the Cell Tokyo address. Who do you think was responsible for its discovery? The esteemed Professor Himiko's discovery of the ancient Moai statue on Easter Island is being met with skepticism by his colleague, BLT.
The archaeological community is abuzz with debate over the significance of this find, and some are questioning its authenticity. Meanwhile, Himiko's reputation as a leading expert in her field hangs precariously in the balance. Hidden behind the facade of the truth, and is it truly capable of easing all pain? The presence has descended upon us, and the boundaries of reality are about to be shattered.
What secrets lie within the realm of this bodious Himikoi?
A solitary figure stands, marked by a single number. Frantically sending desperate messages to Sway, begging for help and love.
In Japan, are we? What's going on here? Tell me you've never seen that fire before? What are you even doing here, Francos? And who is this Joe character to you?
Of those blood-stained days still haunt him, a constant reminder of the battles he's fought and the weight of his responsibilities. Strikes one again, but the darkness still lingers. Lu and Yuzi stand poised on the edge of a pivotal battle, their numbers at 17 with one life left to spare. This is crushing me. It's a terrible feeling that I'd never wish on my worst enemy. And now, to think that even the people I care about can be torn apart from me, it's just too much to bear.
Friends shouldn't be separated like this, it's not right.
Statues were never meant to be disturbed, and yet here one of them stands, as if guarding a secret that's been unearthed by the very person who should have left it alone. Joe's reckless pursuit has led him back to Easter Island once again, but this time, he's not just searching for answers, he's fleeing from his own demons. Waiting at the meeting place, but so far, no sign of Joe. My ego is starting to take a beating with all these unanswered messages.
We can just keep using the same ability that's been passed down through our family for generations? That you can just teleport and manipulate objects without even understanding what you're doing or where it comes from?
Mentioning my plan, but you're the one who's been awakened to this reality. Who are you, really?
I've sent you a message, hidden in plain sight, on Easter Island, the Earth's navel. I wanted to spare your life, not take it. Will I pose a great risk to myself by keeping you alive? The catastrophe is unfolding, and many will fall. I feel the weight of time. Your power isn't like mine, it's strange, mysterious. And yet, I couldn't bring myself to kill you. You have this feeling.
And hurt by your actions. You say you're trying to save people, but all I see is destruction and death. The lives lost in Japan are unbearable, and I wonder if you're truly capable of love when you're willing to cause such harm.
Did you not feel the weight of those crimes yourself?
True intentions were finally exposed, it was clear that his plan for extermination was just the tip of a much larger game, one where he had been playing with their lives all along.
The conversation is going from bad to worse. Joe, what's gotten into you? The soppy tone is ridiculous, and now you're trying to tell me that Easter has come and gone? Did you really think I wouldn't notice the spelling mistakes? A symbol etched into the stone wall.
Your words still haunt me. You've turned into such a monster, but I'm not the one who's changed. It's you who's failed to understand me, to see the real reason behind my actions. Your stubbornness and refusal to listen have turned us against each other.
What's going on here, Himiko? This conversation seems to be a mix of frustration and concern.
Mr. Stern warning hangs in the air as he points a shaking finger at his student, the desperation in his voice barely containing the turmoil brewing within. The silence of the abandoned temple was broken only by the faint hum of machinery, echoing through the corridors like a mournful sigh. A being named Eve stands before me, claiming to be freelance.
Year 2 is malfunctioning, causing the Wake LP system to fail.
Hijui's life support is at risk due to this critical error. The mysterious figure of Joe stands alone, with a hint of unease in his eyes. A cryptic message is scrawled on the wall behind him, a seemingly random collection of words and symbols that only serve to deepen the sense of foreboding.
The goodbye message to his friends was scribbled on the wall with a hasty, uneven hand.
The words "no LSE" seem to leap out at you, as if trying to convey a sense of urgency or desperation.
The bits of the goddess conspiracy begin to unravel. The majestic city of Hijui lies in ruins, its streets now scarred by the devastating effects of war.
War is still there, I can feel it.
What's this sun shield you're talking about? And don't even get me started on your telekinesis, that's not working at all. Blood runs through our veins, don't you think?
The fabric of your existence is being torn apart, cell by cell, flesh and bone reduced to nothing but scattered fragments. I'm sucked into some kind of dark vortex.
It's pulling me down with incredible force.
He nearly stopped crying, but the silence that follows is almost more unsettling than his tears were.
The message on the wall continues to puzzle the detective.
My right hand, once so strong, now falters with each passing day.
The fear of losing it entirely hangs over me like a specter. In this game of fate, I've chosen to face death head-on, knowing that every soul will eventually succumb to its darkness.
And yet, in the midst of this existential despair, I find solace in the idea that 1 week after my passing, letters will be sent to my friends, carrying with them the secrets and stories I've penned for their eyes alone. Every morning, as I wake up to the cold harsh reality, I'm haunted by a recurring dream, a desperate attempt to escape the suffocating grip of life itself. But alas, I'm trapped in this existential nightmare, forced to confront the demons that plague my nervous stomach and the fear that's intended to consume me. The words scrawled on the wall by a voice that's almost silent now, echo through the halls of a mind consumed by madness. A plea for help, a cry for mercy, and a haunting realization that even in death, there is no escape from the horrors within.
What are you doing here, Dr. Bill Moriai? Shosan's voice is laced with concern as he looks at the old man standing in his office.
The faded logo on the wall behind him reads #ConCLLShaun, a reminder of the chaos that has been brewing since 2012. Humanity hangs in the balance, and we must find a way to defeat the gods themselves. Tell us, how can we stand against such powerful opponents?
What strategies can we employ to emerge victorious? Anything. It can't be that bad, not now. There's no more time. Please, just tell me what's going on. What does it mean to be alive when death itself is approaching? Is it possible to preserve humanity in the face of such existential threats?
The stakes are high, and I need this sense of purpose to keep going. In a desperate bid to save the future of this earth and for my own sake, I've made a decision, possible.
But I have to try. In 13 years, what will happen to this earth?
I must summon all my strength, with everyone's help, to settle this once and for all, God against God. Chapter has arrived, marking the conclusive end of the epic war saga.
With 7 warriors standing tall, their bond and determination will be put to the ultimate test in this climactic final showdown.
Soldiers assemble at Narita International Airport, their arrival marked by a sense of purpose and foreboding on this February day in 2012. A scream of a world in chaos, as the flight schedules reveal a desperate scramble to keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of global travel. Tokyo's citizens are about to become inextricably linked with the mysterious 00 number cyber soldiers. Warned them of a premonition in his dream, and Naoka's been sleeping for nearly a year, building up his power, preparing for some future battle. But why has he been so secretive about it? What's going on here that can't be trusted with the truth? The devastating earthquake that struck eastern Japan, the subsequent flood caused by the typhoon, and the widespread destruction left in its wake are a grim reminder of nature's fury. Missing strange things too, the newspaper clipping, it's from February 2012. And then there are these eyewitness reports coming in from all over the city. It's like something big is about to happen. Before us is one of breathtaking wonder, with beings that shine like stars and have wings that seem to defy the laws of nature. These creatures, known as angels, are said to be messengers from above, but what exactly does this mean? She spoke of a meeting in France where 2 people, Alan and Net, underwent a transformation, becoming whatever it is they become now. It seemed to match the people Ivan had seen, and Pilma described a scene where he was shown the images of Smlaz beings looking into the pyramids deep in the sea. It's as if they're trying to communicate with us, but what do they want? In the midst of this chaos, Noah's words cut through the noise, a reflection of his unshakable faith and conviction in the face of overwhelming evil. He stands steadfast, a beacon of hope, as he confronts the darkness head-on, unwavering in his commitment to preserve life and uphold what is good. Over the tales of a bygone era, Duhei's mind wandered back to the manga artist who had once held the secrets of their victory. But what if that was just a story, and not the truth? That the battles with the Stopes gods are just a game, and we're all just pawns in a much larger war? Does Ivan's transmission to Kim mean that our reality is not what we thought it was, but rather a simulation created by some higher power? The violence continues, and we're forced to confront the darkness within ourselves once again. After the events of yesterday, a new day has begun. Notation on a worn notebook page. Of the earth, where shadows writhe and darkness trembles, a presence stirs. What is I? The question echoes through the abyss. Did you sense it, Francoip? Did you feel the tremors beneath your feet? As it seems here. A single number stares back at us from the darkness. 550, what does it mean? The significance of this cryptic math problem. The binary code flashes on the screen, hinting at a hidden message or encrypted data. Of cryptic symbols on a worn notebook page. Ambushed while investigating in Tokyo, and now we have to act fast. We need to get as many people to safety as possible. What is this? A sea of cars, tossed about like toys? The thought alone sends shivers down my spine. The figure remains amidst the ruins, a lone survivor with a faint glimmer of hope. On here, the tsunami of chaos is about to collide with the calmness of Koan in a battle of opposites. The tsunami is approaching, threatening to destroy everything in its path. The Cyborg soldiers are facing an enormous challenge as they try to comprehend the magnitude of this natural disaster. This is a crucial moment in the story, and Shotaro Onodera must make some tough decisions to save his people from the impending doom. What cost? Can you really hold on tight to your sense of self when the world around you is crumbling apart? On. Alador's yelling at the others, but what does he mean by king and why is he acting so frantically? Shaking, and I can hear a strange tremor. What's going on? This isn't normal. I'm scared. What do you know about it? Presence lingers at the edge of perception. It lingers on the horizon, a lingering echo of a long-forgotten storm. Notes scrawled on the wall seemed to convey a sense of urgency, but their meaning remained elusive. Disasteel and Disasterol were mentioned alongside VISTN, TSUNA, and HLGU Tsunami, while Helmi Eel and 4020 added to the enigmatic puzzle.
What's on here? It looks like a chaotic and intense situation. Can you explain what's happening?
Wave crashing against me, I stand firm, my conviction unwavering.
I've faced the unimaginable, yet still, I rise.
The machines closing in, their metal hearts beating with a hunger that's almost human, but I'll not back down. Catastrophe of this scale, even the strongest will be swept away by the sheer force of the disaster. The tidal wave's fury is unmatched, and those who try to withstand it will be crushed beneath the weight of falling debris. And to make matters worse, civilians in non-military attire offer little protection against the crushing might of the destruction unfolding around them. Infrastructure lies in ruins, a testament to the unforgiving power of nature. The second and third waves of the tsunami have ravaged what little was left standing after the initial onslaught, leaving behind a desolate landscape that stretches as far as the eye can see. The cry for help echoes through the streets of rural Japan, but is this a genuine plea or just another act in a twisted game? The essence of God's power is revealed in this moment, a display of unfathomable might that leaves all spirits cowering in terror. What manner of being can unleash such unbridled energy? The name Geronimo echoes through the realms, a whispered warning of an impending catastrophe. They come, driven by a malevolent force that defies understanding, and their presence is met with only one question: what new terror will they bring? This warning of what's coming is etched across the screen, followed by a cryptic message that seems to be distorted, com_#01s_ine. Suddenly, a concerned voice asks, "Are Yoel all right?" before being abruptly cut off by a desperate plea, "Don't," and finally, a blood-curdling scream echoes through the silence, "Ah." What? A black hole just opened, and it's sucking in everything. Leave it to Mel Francois El Changi. Is it going to consume us all? Intensity won't break our spirits, no matter what the enemy throws at us. We'll hold strong and come out on top. The situation is spiraling out of control, and if we don't get our act together, disaster will strike. That's it, no more stalling, they'll arrive soon, and we have to be inside, ready for whatever comes next. What are you even thinking, Baronio? A hole? Absorbing everything in the sky over Tokyo? This is madness. What kind of idiocy is this? Number etched into the darkness. What does it mean? Flashes against the stone wall. Message etched into the wall. HY could stand for Hydra, but what does it mean in this context? Whooshing and blizzling fills the air as a massive explosion rocks the city, causing chaos and destruction in its wake. Amidst the mayhem, a mysterious figure is seen emerging from the smoke, their face obscured by a mask that seems to be glowing with an otherworldly energy. On. The tsunami seems to have subsided, but look over there. It's like the sea is giving birth to whatever those things are. Ability on full display, they're scaling the building with incredible speed and precision, sticking to every available surface as if magnetized. Text appears to be a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters. It's unclear what specific words or phrases are being conveyed, but it seems like it could be a cryptic message or dialogue between characters in the story. Crashing metal echoed through the battlefield as the enemy's attack finally reached its peak. On the wall seemed to hold a secret. The battle between good and evil has begun, as the demon lords of the sky and sea converge on the world, threatening to destroy all in their path. Erupted in Tokyo as the city's transportation network came to a grinding halt, trapping people who were unable to return to their homes amidst the chaos. A sequence of numbers is etched into the wall. Lingered in the silence. God, Al, is this your doing? Weaker than I thought. What's going on here? A glimmer of hope remains. Character A stands out amidst the otherwise random sequence of characters. The gun is a significant upgrade from the previous model, boasting improved precision and power.
Simple message from the mysterious sender.
With a sense of urgency, her words dripping with desperation as she tries to convey the gravity of her situation.
The reading device is experiencing unusual activity.
It's clear, they're coming, but the urgency and purpose behind it remain a mystery. It often speaks louder than words.
Darkness lies within. That seem to echo through eternity.
Notation, often used by the scientist to hide his true intentions.
But what does it mean?
Up says the goalkeeper, Chang, makes a desperate bid to keep the ball from Eve's shot, while others in the stands chant Talhol and keep, a mix of excitement and confusion on everyone's faces. Out, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and defiance. Losing this power is suffocating me, like being trapped in a world without escape.
How would I even survive if I couldn't rely on my accelerator to save me every time? What would be left of the person I am today, stripped of this one precious ability that's kept me alive for so long? At top speed, but what if the demons can match it? If they all accelerate together, there's no way I can keep up. And if this new gear doesn't work, then what options do I have left? How am I supposed to win against impossible odds like this?
Jet to Billmore's house as soon as possible, but I'm getting a strange feeling about this number, 71217.
Etched into the wall seem to hold a dark significance, but what do they mean?
Juncture in the mission has been reached.
Countdown is reaching its final seconds. Number etched into the wall.
Juncture has been reached. The numbers 28, 1, and 0 hold significant weight in this moment of decision.
What's on here? The handwriting looks like it might be a cryptic message.
Just facing one enemy, but an entire army of them, all with this same ability.
It's a power I've never seen before, and it's clear that they're not to be underestimated. Is ripping apart, and I'm still accelerating. This is madness.
Cyborg soldiers have been pushed to their limits, with no escape from the clutches of the malevolent creatures they once swore to destroy.
Their once stellar reputation now hangs in the balance as they face an enemy unlike any other. Scribble in the margin.
Chapters of the battle against the Cyberborg soldiers have finally arrived, and with it, a conclusion to the war. The anticipation is palpable as readers eagerly await the outcome of this epic struggle.
It might be the end already. There's still so much left to be revealed. What does this mysterious number mean? And what's with the sudden change in tone?
Message, left behind by a mysterious figure.
What does it mean?
This was consumed by an inferno, as if the very roots of the city were being devoured by a malevolent force. The evil demons laughed maniacally, their presence igniting the flames that rose from the ruins like a dark and twisted tree.
Pages on, with Francoise's injuries adding to the chaos as Britain and Chang clash in a bloody conflict that threatens to engulf Akasakamitsuk area. Down from 2 to 4.
That attempt to bring everyone back was a last-ditch effort to undo the damage that had been done. Whisper echoes through the desolate landscape, a haunting reminder of what's been lost. This assault by demons and crocodiles has shown no signs of abating, as the people struggle to survive amidst the chaos. They're filled with the roar of jets as both American and Japanese military forces engage in a high-stakes aerial battle.
The army of the faithful now lies shattered, its warriors no match for the unrelenting hordes that swept through their defenses with ease. Falls over the abandoned city.
The disappearance of the CYGR soldiers still didn't sit right with Commander Ortega, and he couldn't help but wonder if Ivan's teleportation was more than just a lucky escape. Their battle hangs in the balance, as they struggle to revive the cybernetic soldiers with powers that have so far proven insufficient against the enemy. His expression reflects the weight of his recent struggles as he walks alone, lost in thought.
You can handle the same arsenal that's been forged into my very being?
I dare you to unleash your firepower, see if it can match the intensity of what I've become. The absurdity of this situation. I must admit, being chewed in half by a monster is a new one for me. But I suppose it's only fitting to express my gratitude towards that beast.
Staring at me like I'm some kind of monster. Even with this thing on my hand, don't you think we can still take down our enemies? We've been in tougher spots before. It's not about how we look, it's about what we can do.
It was thick with tension as the two figures stood facing each other.
Unable to escape this fate. Why did you condemn me to this existence?
Please understand that my actions were never meant to cause harm. I only granted you the ability to see farther than before with the best of intentions, but now I'm paying the price for it.
We're in this together, every single one of you.
From now on, you must fight against these powerful enemies as a united front. We can't win without your cooperation, and I won't let that happen.
Absolutely not. Francois.
It all hangs in the balance, and we must decide whether to stand together or fall separately.
Will we choose to fight as one, or succumb to our enemies alone?
The choice is clear: if we are to die, let us do so with honor, on the battlefield, rather than cowering in fear. Are running out, and each time I use them, I'm slowly draining the awakening energy from everyone here. If I keep this up, I'll die, and that's exactly what will happen if I don't find another way to stop it.
I've tried this before, with you, remember? To come together as one.
Forces have spread their malevolent influence across the nation, bringing Japan to its knees in a desperate struggle for survival. Darkness closes in, a glimmer of hope flickers to life, for amidst the chaos and destruction, a new force awakens, one that may hold the key to saving humanity from the clutches of the demonic horde. The beginning of the new power within themselves has begun, and with it comes a transformation that will change everything forever. It was barely above a whisper. The chapter of Shinjuku's stronghold story is coming to a close, as gods face their ultimate challenge in War 1. This code etched into the ancient wall begins to reveal a hidden message, one that speaks of an ancient civilization and their desperate bid for survival in a world on the brink of collapse.
The number echoes through the emptiness. Digit 4 stands alone on the page.
Of numbers scrawled on the wall in a desperate attempt to convey a hidden message. Where numbers ruled supreme, 1 was the beginning.
Etched into the stone wall seemed to pulse with a mysterious energy.
Silence is broken by a series of low, ominous chuckles, chi-chi-chi-chi-chi, followed by the sound of footsteps echoing through the darkness. A scary figure stands at the edge of the city, surrounded by an eerie silence.
You've been hiding, they're a game changer. What's behind this new ability of yours?
It was impressive, but I've only just begun to tap into my full potential.
Britton's isn't a buoy, deep sleep. You're seeing. Oh, he isn't even putting up a fight.
Looks like a pretty chill way to attack.
Neeus, maybe I should try to take a nap too?
What the hell was that? I nearly died because of your flames.
He's making quite the flashy show over there. That is pretty stunning. He's freely Albert's manipulating his own pretty incredible weaponry.
Just like Chan's fire, it's beautiful but also a little too unpredictable.
It is far from over. Our enemies will return, and we'll need to be ready to defend ourselves once more.
The message reads, I did 3-8 and 4 PKEDP, for Mr. It's unclear what these codes mean, but they may be a crucial part of the story. The soldier has fallen into a deep sleep, his bioenergy depleted from the previous battle.
But will he remain asleep for long? The countdown to awakening begins. I don't need a body like this. I want my normal body back.
I would have been fine with living that normal life, growing old, and dying naturally.
Fran, listen. Be a parent on my own, that's something different. That's a whole new level of responsibility and sacrifice. And I thought about all the times when I had to rely on others for help, like when I lost a tooth or needed glasses because my eyesight wasn't great. It's funny how we take those things for granted until they're gone, but having an artificial prosthetic that works perfectly, now that's something worth celebrating. No matter how much the world changes, it can never change the way I feel about you. Even if I suffered serious facial injuries, my love for you would remain true, just like your beautiful eyes, Françoise, would shine brighter than any flaw. This is just our fate, and I'm grateful for that. In a world where even the gods can be defeated, what choice do we have but to fight back against an enemy that seems invincible? I'll find the eyes because of your help, thank you. Those crystals are a key part of our research. It is out. Dinerals, the sculptory device, can re-enter the Calicials, but at a terrible cost. We're not just talking about our world, we're talking about any Escalp-like world that dares to cross the line. And now, those beings, they. Something that will change everything. Angels were seen downtown recently, and now people are talking about it. But I'm the one who's been trying to help, even though I don't have anything to offer. What did you see? Was it them too? I've been sensing are real, and they're not just mere entities, they're powerful beings that can take on a multitude of forms. The evidence points to their origins being extraterrestrial, and the implications are staggering. Are these angel-like figures truly divine, or are they simply enemies in disguise? We may have fought against them before, but now we must confront the possibility that they were not what we thought they were. What's on here? Is this some kind of emergency? Number etched into the darkness. As abilities continued to evolve, he began to realize the true extent of his newfound powers, and how they were changing him in ways both subtle and profound. His disappearance left Joe stunned, his eyes scanning the surroundings as if searching for an explanation, but even Françoise's kidnapping by demons moments ago couldn't account for the uncanny speed at which Ko vanished. The realization dawned on Joe that despite their superior abilities, they were still outmatched. He was left wondering if these newcomers were truly gods. They're getting louder, the spooked whispers echoing through the streets. It's behind that building. They're right, I can feel it, a malevolent presence lurking just out of sight, waiting to strike. Enthusiasm is palpable as they arrive at the event, but a hint of concern lingers with Françoise's troubled past and Joe's mysterious absence. With the Imperial Palace and surrounding areas fully under their control, it's time to tackle the next phase of their operation, rooting out the enemy's remaining strongholds. Jet, are you ready to join me in this final push? We'll need all our strength to take down their last few nests and secure a decisive victory. His abilities have reached new heights. He can now blow away entire swarms with a mere thought, and his body has become a vessel for immense power. He can transform into a four-ball mass and roll over the landscape, or possess his enemies like a ghost, striking them down with their own teeth. Don't make the mistake of underestimating him, for he is a force to be reckoned with. Cyborg soldiers march on, their den as barren as the toast they've long since abandoned. A yellowed comic book cover sits on a dusty shelf, its title God's War emblazoned in bold letters, while the words "The latest comic volume 3 is now on sale" seem to leap out from beneath it. But amidst this nostalgic display, something feels off. The nest, just like we planned. Now it's time to move in and explore what's inside. Seeds within him. What's gone terribly wrong with the project? The Change 2 protocol is malfunctioning. What's on here? It seems like Françoise was in a bad state of mind, and now my friends are frozen in battle. The demons were trying to capture her, but did I fall into some kind of trap by getting involved with her? And what's even more suspicious is that the demons seem to be taking orders from someone. Françoise, right in the heart of their nest, they're not exactly looking for a fight. The signature is fading rapidly. What could be the cause of this sudden exhaustion? What's on here? Joe's yelling at someone to wake up. Is this a dream sequence or something? What twisted sorcery is this, invading my mind and attempting to silence me with cryptic symbols and nonsensical phrases? Who are you, And what's the true purpose behind these feeble attempts to intimidate me? It hangs heavy over the desolate landscape. What sorcery is this?
The imps and crocodiles, mere moments ago reveling in chaos, have vanished into thin air.
What's going on here? Echo remains, a reminder of what's been lost. What, then? Some sort of code or something? Possible. The equations don't make any sense. What are you trying to prove here?
They're swirling around each other in a maddening dance.
This. An ancient language I've never seen before.
Balance is compromised, and it's no use against the enemy's relentless assault.
With the last of my bioenergy, I must make this final move. It's going to be a wild ride.
Frustration in his voice was palpable as he shouted at the woman, "Just give up already.
You'll know soon enough."
But she stood firm, her eyes locked on him with an unnerving intensity.
"What's it to you?" He spat back, but she just smiled and said, "You'll let me have French coys, won't you?" And into Joe, always so dramatic about Himiko.
He thinks he's the only one who knows her, but I'm not so sure.
You're interfering in my life, aren't you, Joe? I thought I made it clear that I didn't want to fight you. My fall was supposed to be the end of this, yet here you are again.
This time, I won't show mercy.
And what's worse, you've fallen for that woman.
You're trying to convince me that Japan is your domain and that all these people from different nations have met with some sort of body, but it sounds like a series of unrelated facts.
What's the connection between them? And what do you mean by my friends across many nations?
It seems like you're trying to establish some kind of authority or legitimacy, but I'm not seeing how these statements add up. How many times must I repeat myself to exterminate evil? MLST must be exterminated. Those who disobey the God's guidance, their hearts full of evil.
Was it not written as so in the Apocalypse? And all of my friends, we cyborgs, you say we're all evil? Chose 4 marks or 2 on their bodies, is that what you're asking about?
Joe was a delinquent when he was young, but he's trying to turn his life around now. The sheriff is making sure to keep an eye on him, and that's not all he's concerned about. That makes me the strongest, with my unyielding energy force, Hellman being the one who dares to challenge me.
For this, Joe. You've crossed the wrong person.
Is raised, ready to defend against whatever lies ahead.
What's it supposed to mean?
The story has reached its end, but Joe is trying to forgive and make amends for his past mistakes. He's searching for answers about where he went wrong and how he can move forward.
It is escalating, Joe's desperation growing as he pleads for help and tries to get his message across.
His cries are laced with a mix of urgency and frustration, the sense of being trapped and helpless hanging heavy in the air.
What's on here?
The old man's words are slurred, but I think he's trying to tell me something. By his words, he's just trying to save himself from the consequences of his actions. They're all in grave danger now, and running away won't change anything.
Listen to me. Stop interfering and release the others. We can't save them if you keep putting yourself in harm's way. Lies in ruins, a testament to the devastating power of war. Onodera's story comes full circle as he faces off against his greatest foe.
The fate of Tokyo hangs in the balance, and only time will tell if it will rise from the ashes once more. We're still reeling from the aftermath of the mysterious events that had transpired in Japan. The leaked footage, which had been posted on YouTube, showed Ivan and others suffering from some kind of energy depletion, leading to widespread speculation about the cause and implications of this phenomenon.
Echoes through the ages, a query that has haunted mortals and gods alike. What is for God, indeed?
Is at peace, but it's a cold comfort when that peace comes from the absence of a higher power. You're so tough with your internet monster fantasies and your 4-letter words, but at the end of the day, you're just a coward who can't even face the real thing.
Bring it on, I dare you. You're not a hero? With powers like yours,
you're more likely to get yourself killed than save the day.
With the constant scrutiny and exploitation.
Every day, I come downtown hoping to blend in, but the cameras are always rolling, capturing every moment of my life for the sake of clicks and controversy.
It's exhausting being a spectacle.
Who defeated the 5 demons has been reduced to a mere curiosity, and it's no longer bearable. I've been remodeled, and my eyes are altered. Of that foreboding forest, where the trees seem to twist and writhe like living serpents. Before the darkness, and I felt the same chill run down my spine as when we faced Bod in Japan. That black hole yawning open in the sky, what secrets lie within? I'm determined to uncover them, no matter the cost.
Will it reveal the truth about the gods?
An utter idiot, passing me in the other lane without even checking your mirrors. TSK, TSK, TSK.
Falls like a veil over the ancient forest. Echoes through the abandoned research facility, a reminder of the experiments that once went terribly wrong. That cry echoes through the desolate landscape.
Display of skill and artistry, the master of fire manipulation commands the stage with every movement, leaving onlookers in awe. Reputation already scarred by arson, I unwittingly forged my own notoriety with a series of heists that would make me the most infamous criminal in China. Eyes were fixed on the body of his son, Lyomi, as he whispered, "The man I had loved is dead." His mind reeled back to the dream he had in the bar, where his son was caught by the phantom, exactly like in real life. And just like in his dream, his son was killed.
Charlie's words echoed in Mike's mind, "Why didn't you go over and warn them?"
He turned to Frank, the head of the theater, with a mix of anger and despair.
What cost?
The question echoes through the silence, a haunting reminder of the choices made in pursuit of fame. The surface stretches out before me, a stark reminder of the desolate landscape we left behind on Mars. The of Mars are still etched in my mind, but the truth behind that fateful day remains shrouded in mystery.
Was it his own actions or something more sinister that led to the attack? Bowman's words continue to haunt me, "The enemy is not what you think they are."
But how can we be sure when the line between friend and foe is blurred, and the landscape of war stretches out before us like an endless desert? The of Mars still haunt me, and the thought of Cecily's disappearance is a constant ache. I recall the events leading up to that fateful day, but my mind goes dark whenever I try to relive it. The sensation of floating in the sea, with no control over my body, is a feeling I'll never shake off. These words cut deeper than any physical wound, and I couldn't shake the feeling that she was hiding something or someone. The memories of our past together swirled in my mind like a maelstrom, making it impossible to discern truth from fabrication.
Leaders on the brink of war, as skirmishes escalate into civil wars. But what's driving this chaos?
Some believe it's a divine force at work, controlling the hearts of men. Despite being in a deep sleep, Ivan's heart continues to feel the effects of this mysterious power, and one person stands out as the only possible culprit.
What's this supposed to mean? The god of EODs? I've never heard anyone call themselves that before. The world just happened.
It looks like Cook got caught off guard by some kind of explosion, or maybe it was just a really loud noise.
And what's with all these questions about where the end of the bodies went? Is this some kind of twisted joke?
The officer yells as the mysterious figure lunges at them, but it's too late to stop their fate. The vision of the war between gods has finally awakened the end, marking a new chapter in Ishinomori Shotaro's legendary story. The cycle of destruction continues, the Cyborg soldiers march on, leaving a trail of chaos and devastation in their wake, but what could be the driving force behind this catastrophic sequence of events? Of cryptic symbols etched into the wall, hinting at a long-forgotten code. The moment of truth has arrived. I can put an end to this exhausting ordeal with Dr. Billmore's help.
I'm not so sure anymore. That cave, it doesn't feel right.
Despair echoes through the desolate landscape. A burst of panic echoes through the streets as a massive storm cloud looms overhead. etched on their face as they frantically ask what's happening and trying to make sense of the chaos around them. Chang has returned to Tibet, and now he's hungry, and not just for rice. He's a wanted man in all of China, and his choices are dwindling by the minute. Let's take a break around here. I'm starting to think this is all just a clever distraction. Am I being naive? That Kook and the Yeti are sharing a moment of unexpected companionship before their separate journeys continue. The Yeti's presence in heaven has brought an unusual sense of togetherness, but ultimately, they must part ways once more. The echo of a name lingers on the wall, UE544, but what does it mean? The world is crushing him. He's designed to withstand the pressure of the deep sea, but nothing can prepare him for the vast emptiness of space and the fall from this cliff that seems to stretch on forever, 300 meters above sea level, an endless plummet into the unknown. A scary figure stands at the edge of a vast, empty landscape. It seems it's finally revealed, and the people are beginning to awaken from their slumber, realizing they have been manipulated by the very powers that claim to control them. Have other plans for humanity's fragile existence, and their control will eventually destroy all that is mortal. The human race teeters on the brink of a catastrophic reckoning, one that will change the course of history forever. It's only a matter of time before the gods' dominance crushes the very essence of what it means to be human. Yet, even in the face of this impending doom, humanity's determination and discipline remain vital, and with them comes the hope for a brighter future. Energy depleted and barely enough to sustain myself, the fate of our mission hangs precariously in the balance. Your convictions are all that stand between us and defeat, remember them now more than ever. Humanity in this earth hangs in the balance, with our cybernetic powers now reaching the pinnacle of ESP and psychokinesis. Every individual must now unleash their full potential to save what's left. Memories are a jumbled mess. Fragments of the past floating in my mind's eye, unclear whether they're real or just a dream. The hospital, Ivan, my friends, it's all so hazy. But one thing is certain, I've lost something precious, and I don't know how to get it back. What's going on here? Ivan's words are becoming increasingly distorted and fragmented. It's as if his grip on reality is starting to slip. Teleportation powers now online, Joe's ability to move through space and time has reached unprecedented levels, shattering the barriers that once confined him. The mention of Okinawa sparks a question in Joel's mind: why did Joe not choose to bring them there? The cryptic reference to Hook raises more questions than answers, hinting at a deeper connection between the two locations. Memories of being a hero and his life after the incident seemed to be slowly coming back, but something was off. The mention of the Grand Canyon sparked a strange intuition in him, one that made him feel like he was on the verge of uncovering a long-forgotten truth. His eyes widened in shock as he stared at the others, still trying to process what had just happened. What did you say?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. The power has shifted dramatically, as the ancient energies have evolved beyond our comprehension. Message, finally revealed. The truth behind the chaos is beginning to unravel. Ability to possess someone else, I can completely alter their cellular structure and change their appearance simply at will. And by possessing one person, I can then apply the same change to another person in a completely different way. By borrowing the bodies of many others, it becomes possible for me to create countless copies of myself, each with its own unique lifespan. This production capacity has far from reached its peak, and yet, for swarms of my own copies have already begun to swarm the land. XGGR, the enigmatic symbol etched into this very page, seems to mock me with its secrecy. What lies beyond this threshold? It may seem chaotic, but I assure you, this conversation is quite enlightening. The concept of home and origin takes on a rather unique meaning in my existence. I've been trying to convey the intricacies of inter-universal relationships to you, but it seems we're getting tangled in semantics. Let us try to untangle this thread and explore the complexities of your reality together. We may be from around here, but we've learned to live quietly among the inconspicuous lives of humans. And yet, we feel a strange kinship with those who are in conflict with their own humanity.
It's a complicated stop, one that we're trying to navigate as best we can. And then there's you, someone who seems to be questioning everything about being human.
Strange claim, one that challenges everything we thought we knew about the capabilities of those beings.
And yet, what if it's true? What if they're more than just myth and legend?
What possessed you to storm into our village like that? One of the villagers found where you fell, and even I had to track down your trail. You're not exactly subtle when it comes to sneaking around. Words hung in the air like a challenge, but I couldn't shake off the feeling that he was hiding something. He spoke of demons and black holes, of spirit worlds and connections beyond our understanding. It sounded like a wild tale, but then again, what if it was true?
What if we were not from this planet at all?
Very often these days, but I still can't see the trajectory of his attacks. There's no strange sign of him on my line of fire, it always leads to having to deal with him over and over again. The shift in Albert's tactics caught everyone off guard, and his ability to teleport his weapons to the target was a game changer. But the one they trusted has turned against them, and now they're left with nothing but shattered dreams and broken promises.
As power grows stronger, we're finally able to launch a joint attack in perfect harmony. But what exactly is the extent of that infant's incredible abilities? It's truly astonishing, isn't it?
Chapters of the Gods saga come to a close in this conclusion to the epic war in North America, set amidst the scenic Manyu Valley. It seems you've wandered into a sensitive area. There have been reports of flying objects in the sky, and I'm not sure what to make of them myself. What brings you here?
What sorcery is this? Surfing a demon and summoning spirits in Monument Valley? The spirits, they seem to be guiding you, but what do they want with you?
Beyond our own, where stars and worlds yet unknown sang celestial songs, an angel dwelled. You're supposed to be fighting like this, angels are meant to protect and serve, but you're using your powers for personal gain. Your pressurization is going haywire, I have to intervene before things get out of control. Is closing in on Inji, and she's struggling to harness her power. The reckoning has finally arrived, and the two of them will clash in a showdown that will determine which one will emerge victorious. The fate of our kingdom hangs in the balance once more.
Heinrich, are you certain this is where we should be headed?
Falls over the battlefield.
Are crumbling, it's like I've lost control.
Teleportation is impossible, and my abilities are fading fast, 60% gone, 20% to go.
And now, I'm being hunted.
The situation is dire, Albert.
We can't possibly take on the enemy alone.
Britain's fate hangs in the balance. Tro's powers are back, and he's eager to put them to the test.
Again. Done. Where has he gone? This is a disaster.
Not pleased with your careless words, mortal.
You dare to address the great Tezcatlipoca, the smoking mirror, as if he were a trivial acquaintance? And what is this nonsense about Glys and Lanacht? Do you think yourself worthy to speak to the gods of the sinking darkness?
Coming, and with them, the end of all things. The Quatlique, the mother of life and death, stirs once more, unleashing her fury upon the world. The fabric of reality trembles as the endless expanse of God's domain shudders, their omnipresent power coursing through every fiber of existence. It is over, but the danger is far from it. A deep, black hole has emerged, eerily reminiscent of the one that ravaged Tokyo, and it's heading straight for us. Its hunger is insatiable, devouring human flesh with reckless abandon. This is Dakini, a being of dark and ancient power. Sorcerer's cackling laugh echoes through the land as HLRRY unleashes a fierce battle cry, summoning his powers in a desperate bid to turn the tide of war. She can take me down with a few silly tricks, but I'll have you know, I'm the greatest of all time. Etched on the protagonist's face as they struggled to decipher the cryptic message scrawled on the wall. The figure stands at the edge of a desolate landscape, where numbers 1 and 8 seem to hold some forgotten significance.
What's on here? You're telling me she can see an image of you in her mind's eye and share those images with others?
And now you're saying that Françoise told you where Yoler was, but within her heart?
This is all a bit too much to take in. I thought you said she was recently awakened? And what about Ivan? They're heading towards him on the ship? What's going on here?
What world is Rish doing here, and what's with that ridiculous outfit? And who told him to go poking around a hole in Tokyo where all those demons come from? Now he's gone and invited himself along, like we're on some kind of twisted adventure. I swear, I'm starting to think he's lost his mind.
Decision.
You've made it clear you're not welcome here. Leave now, before things escalate further. Her own labored breathing is deafening, a constant reminder that her body is screaming in protest against the pain that threatens to consume her. It's unfolding in a way that's both chaotic and eerily familiar, as if the characters are trapped in a nightmare from which they can't awaken.
What happened? Is it something that should have been avoided, or was it always meant to be this way?
The sound of rushing water grows louder, a steady drumbeat that seems to match the pounding of their hearts. Valorant has foretold the inevitable end, and it seems that this might be the moment. Heroes of old told it, the end of all things is always the same Ragnarok, the fiery destruction that consumes them all. And yet, I recall the first time I heard these tales, and how they left me bewildered, unsure of what to make of such fantastical stories.
This, a mix of madness and chaos. Is this some sort of code, or just the ramblings of a mind that's gone astray?
The words are scribbled down in haste, with no regard for sense or reason. Stop Ped, Hook, Britain, open the curtains, it's all so jumbled and confusing.
What's happening here?
The Father has spoken, and the numbers are revealed. The gods thinks they're our foe, but will show them no mercy. Their fate will be sealed, without a doubt. At this rate, we have no chance of emerging victorious, yet. We must regroup and strategize, all 9 of us working together like the teeth of a gear. The message on the wall reads watch, learn, and then forget. He thinks they've got the upper hand, but we're just getting started. Etched into the stone, a cryptic message from the past.
Falls over the desolate landscape. Who dares to question my skills once more? I'll show you what a real Pyanma is capable of.
Over, but the real battle has just begun. Between the CYBCRG soldiers and the army of COD is intensifying, with both sides clashing in a desperate struggle for supremacy.
Digit stares back at us.
A frantic cry echoes through the abandoned laboratory, but it's unclear what aid they're seeking or who they expect to respond. The scribbled letters and symbols seem to be a mixture of desperate pleas for help and nonsensical scribbles, adding to the overall sense of chaos and confusion.
Etched into the stone. What's on here? It looks like someone's made a mess with their keyboard.
In humanity, we seek a new world, free from the shackles of violence and oppression.
But can we truly forgive those who perpetrate such atrocities?
The weight of their actions will haunt us forever. May that you and the others don't think yourselves different from the rest of humanity. Come, my brothers, time for you to die.
On with Chang. There's a stop. Don't call upon what you're doing. AM God 1? PYLN Ma? Hulk? Name so freely as the likes I've said before to be in control of him?
The words on the wall seem to be a desperate attempt at a message, but it's unclear what they're trying to convey.
Is this some kind of code or just a frantic outburst?
Abilities, I'm more than just a match for you in the depths of the ocean. I can do this, I can expand my shield to cover the entire area, and with Oxaben's power, we might be able to break through.
Pilma is now close enough to existing as a god.
I place the mill of the gods, but I've seen nothing divine here.
Only the crushing weight of our ancestors' mistakes. What's on here? Something about the surface. Continents? Is that some kind of revelation or confusion?
The ruins of an ancient civilization lie before us, shrouded in secrets and theories. This place is believed to be the lost continent of Mu, said to have been a precursor to Mayan, Mesoamerican, and ancient Egyptian civilizations. Of the ocean floor seems to be closing in around Ivan, and he's starting to lose hope. Francoise's words keep echoing in his mind. They've lost contact with Dr. Silmore, and now it seems like they're truly stranded. Cyborgs, led by Ivan, gathered around the ship in a desperate bid to repair it and protect their doctor. Meanwhile, Joe's teleportation device had created an opening for the enemy to attack, but Geronio's superhuman strength allowed him to carry the ship back to safety, where they regrouped and prepared for the impending battle. They're scattered across the world, and it's taken too long to gather them in one place. We need to prepare for their arrival. They're coming behind you, and we have no time to lose. Rosa's desperate plan to lure the gods had led her to make contact with Pilma, a being shrouded in mystery and power.
Falls over the desolate wasteland. What manner of madness is this? I am beset on all sides by enemies, and thou dost ask me to create a new angle of attack. Fie upon it! What art thou supposed to do with the situation in Britain?
You're so tough with your Kamen Rider cosplay, but let me tell you, I've seen it all. I'm the one who's been holding back, and now it's time to unleash my true power.
Bring it on!
Here on the edge, my calculations falter and I realize that I'm trapped in a never-ending cycle of divine retribution.
The numbers dance before my eyes, taunting me with their cruelty. Why must I fall prey to this ancient curse once again? What is the authentic identity? The doppelganger's cryptic message only adds to the confusion. In the midst of chaos, everyone seems to be searching for something, but what's happening is anyone's guess. The darkness is absolute, and it's not just a matter of switching on the lights, it's pitch black. I'm completely disoriented, unable to see anything at all. It's descending into chaos, with explosions and gunfire erupting all around Joe.
He's yelling at someone to take cover, but it's unclear who he's talking to or what's happening.
Poland is holding a kick at 2 o'clock.
Chang fire rising in front of you, Britain drops down, and our vision's back on track, but what about Albert?
He's directly above you now. A few years would be enough time to forget me, Queen Sheba? But I remember everything. Today's reckoning will settle the score between us once and for all.
One of the forests left to suffer, and Mickey's cryptic warning that they must come to their senses. It seems the battle is far from over.
Stop playing games with me.
He's just trying to mess with your head, but if you don't have the power, we'll help you.
This message is a desperate plea from before tea, but what does it really mean?
The conversation takes a surreal turn as Mike struggles to comprehend the reality of his situation, questioning whether he's truly dead or just dreaming. His dialogue becomes increasingly fragmented and nonsensical, hinting at a deeper psychological turmoil beneath the surface.
What happened here, and why would you do something like that to Jet? Was it someone he knew?
Please, we need to find Chang.
What's happening to him?
He's been missing for hours and no one knows where he is.
This bizarre title.
Etched into the stone wall, a cryptic message that only a few can decipher.
Scattered across a cryptic message, what does it mean?
Having already shown themselves so clearly, have vanished into darkness, leaving behind only the faintest whispers of their presence.
What's the point of even trying anymore? Another lost cause, just like all the rest. Desperate situation, we can't afford to lose anymore.
The stakes are getting higher, and it's getting harder to move forward. I'm starting to see things that don't add up. Those marks on the ground look like some kind of code, but what do they mean? He's losing everything he thought was important, and it didn't even take him doing anything wrong to make that happen. All his efforts, all his planning, gone in an instant, leaving him with nothing but regret and a deep sense of failure.
Of a forgotten life linger on the worn pages of this ancient tome.
A message etched into the wall, a code that may hold the key to unlocking the secrets of this mysterious world. Pages on, but it's clear that Mei is the only one who can save the day. Her unique abilities in quick thinking will be put to the test as she faces off against this powerful foe. A figure emerges from the shadows. Whisper echoes through the abandoned laboratory, a hint of a long-forgotten conversation.
God's power has weakened to the point where you can mock them? You think you're so powerful now, able to teleport and defy their will?
I want you to get us out of here and back into our true form, body and soul. Don't ask me why, just trust me that we need to leave this place behind.
You're something, aren't you?
First, you let me fall, and then you have the nerve to yell at me like that.
What's gotten into you? Please go after them. Halt them down immediately. Whisper echoes through the deserted alleyway. Jet. Don't fall for it. My brothers will be right behind me. We can't trust them. Going into the stratosphere for a sightseeing tour.
Now's my chance. If I want to attack, I don't want to go that far as to kill you. But I am prepared to face Pyonma and press on with change. It's finally revealed, and the deception that has been built up throughout this role comes crashing down. Pyonma's words hang in the air like a challenge, and I can feel the weight of my own guilt bearing down on me.
Françoise has finally had enough of her partner's antics.
Really acknowledging the traitor within your own ranks, Commander.
But will it be enough to save you from the darkness that's consumed his right?
Act against him, and at this rate, Pylnaz will be forced to do everything himself. I'll let you go, not now that we're in this together.
What's on here? Listen up. We've come a long way, and now it's time to take the next step. We'll go ahead, retrieve the artifact, and get back to our bodies. You'll understand soon enough.
They're closing on this spot in Britain, and it's my final moment here.
Albert, I think we should return to our bodies now.
No, can't wait, so bring down the curtain. I'm happy to have met all of you, Danke-san.
A single, solitary note. The ones are not so easily defeated. The gods still linger, their power not yet broken.
In a twisted world, a new threat emerges.
Beings of unimaginable power, known as the ENE, have been secretly manipulating humanity for centuries. Their existence is a blasphemy against all that's sacred. Gods above, what kind of entity could commit such atrocities? The people must be warned, but will they listen?
It's cruel of me to have been deceiving you for all this time, but I couldn't help myself, not with the truth that could destroy everything we've built together.
Madness. What's going on? Why are you giving up on the project? And what's with the ridiculous notation? Their plan has hit a snag. Put an end to this once and for all.
For lives lost already, and it's time we take back control. Code scattered across the page seemed to be some sort of cryptic message, but it's clear that BGDDAA is being referenced as a shield or protection mechanism. Meanwhile, EDI appears to be a corrupted or encrypted term, possibly related to possession or control.
Sound echoes through the darkness.
Notes scrawled on the wall seem to be a desperate attempt to convey a message, but the scribbled symbols and crossed-out words only add to the sense of chaos. The message etched into the ancient stone, deciphering its meaning will be crucial to unlocking the secrets of this long-abandoned structure. The trials it took to crack the code was staggering. You succeed with that approach. Those two are stubborn, but I suppose it's worth a try if you think it's the only way to salvage the situation. Of Gilmorile, even numbers held secrets. To be a title page or credits page for the manga, rather than an actual panel from the story. There is no spoken dialogue or narrative text that would fit into the format requested. Like us, we're once humans, with all the joys and sorrows that come with it. Your time on Earth was short, but your memory lives on in our minds. As the final battle approaches, the spirits of the warriors past will rally against their foes, determined to protect their loved ones until the very end. To bring this endless cycle to a close once and for all.
The question is, are you ready to face the consequences of your actions? And they're already here.
Of divine entities, each with their own unique power and domain, wait beyond the veil of reality.
It is finally giving out.
Widened as he took in the sea of human faces, their features a blur of worry and relief. He let out a deep breath, his mind reeling from the close call they'd just had. Ivan's voice cut through the din. "Chief God," he whispered, a hint of reverence in his tone. The weight of responsibility hung heavy on Joe's shoulders as he gazed out at the crowd, their faces a testament to the fragility of life. The great conglomerate, or, as you know it, conglomerate, a body of soils where all of humanity is united in one entity. I am able to speak to you from anywhere, but let us not waste time on trivialities. Come, let us slip this stagnation away and move on to the spirit realm, for there lies the true discussion. Where the concept of nothing is not, but rather a flowing existence alongside all else, our galaxy and its planetary systems are part of this eternal dance. Among them, there was a planet teeming with life, its creatures basking in vibrant colors, surrounded by lush vegetation and a cobalt blue ocean. The inhabitants themselves possessed skin so translucent it seemed almost ethereal, as if they were more dull than flesh and blood, their spiritual essence taking precedence over the physical form. Where the forces of light and darkness collided, the very fabric of reality was torn apart. The people of this realm possessed abilities that bordered on the divine, with some exhibiting powers such as telepathy, psychokinesis, and even time manipulation. Despite the conflicts that raged across the universe, there existed a figure known as Ivan, who embodied a sense of peace and love. He walked among the children of light, who were born with special gifts that set them apart from the rest. Beyond our own, where worlds and civilizations flourished in harmony, the structures of old stood tall, emulating the grandeur of ancient pyramids. A utopia, teeming with life, free from suffering and strife, where time flowed effortlessly, and stress was but a distant memory. The inhabitants, content and peaceful, soared through the skies on disc-shaped vehicles, leaving behind the notion of earthly concerns. If we were to behold such wonders, we would dub them UFOs or flying salamanders, a testament to their extraordinary nature. A catastrophic and ruthless warlord had emerged on that peaceful planet, fueled by an insatiable hunger for power, and a twisted desire to dominate all other planets in the galaxy. His malevolent force would stop at nothing, enslaving countless worlds and civilizations, leaving a trail of destruction and chaos in its wake. In a bid to silence the growing dissent, the children of light stood firm, but it was too late. The children of darkness had already been alerted, and they came forth in great numbers, drawn by the call of their brethren from other realms. On the planet Mars, the people rose up with a single-minded determination, for they knew that this was not just a battle for their world, but a test of wills across the universe. The warriors of each realm gathered, ready to unleash their most daring and cunning strategies upon one another. But among them, there was one who stood out: Ivan Narm, with his unique ability to restrain the darkness within himself, and with it, perhaps, the very fabric of reality itself. His final trick, a last-ditch effort known as spiritual suicide, would be a gamble like no other. The battle between good and evil spirits raged on. A powerful alliance was formed to contain the wicked desires and counter their dark magic. The virtuous spirit of light and the wicked spirit of darkness clashed in a spectacular display of spiritual warfare, with each side attempting to outmaneuver the other. In the end, the evil forces were exiled back to their native homeworld, known as the Blee Planet, but not before one final, desperate attempt to destroy all that was good. The dark universe claimed another of its own, exiling it to a realm where even the faintest whispers of light were extinguished. In the vastness of space, there is no other life to be found, except for those rare exceptions on dead planets. Our own Earth is but a penal colony in a world consumed by darkness. The stars we know as the sun and others like them are mere beacons in an universe shrouded in eternal night. Yet, despite this crushing darkness, there exists a glimmer of hope: the people and worlds of the light universe, kindled with life for only limited amounts of time. The continent of Atlantis is a place where the extreme slaves of old once sought to enslave the children of light, using their warrior DNA to dominate and oppress. This was considered the true birthplace of the continents we know today, where former East Asian races crossed the ocean to establish new lands. As children of light were given armor to protect them in their human bodies, they began to experience a new kind of life on Earth. Their physical appearance was influenced by the colors of the planets and the cultures of the warrior clans that had been sent to perform kamikaze attacks to aid in the fusion of the two opposing spirits. But this newfound existence came with a terrible price. Their bodies were vulnerable to corruption from oxygen, leading to an accelerated aging process and ultimately, death. The warrior's mission is complete, but for the able children of light, a new journey begins. As children of light depart for the universe of light, they leave behind a nostalgic longing in those who remain on Earth. The children of darkness, unable to follow, head towards the tunnel to return to their original dimension, while the memories of their time in the world of light fade away like embers. It seems that even in paradise, there is a boundary beyond which none can pass. In the corners of Tokyo, whispers speak of spectral forms that roam freely, leaving behind a trail of eerie presence. They are known as BOSTs, children of darkness, forever lost in the shadows. Some claim to have witnessed these phantom entities coming and going at will, their ethereal existence a reminder of the mysterious forces that govern our universe. Of the light, where harmony once reigned with those who possessed loving spirits, a balance was maintained between the planet and its inhabitants. However, when the wicked hearts of the people's spirits grew strong, chaos erupted, and crimes were committed. The conflict between good and evil persisted until they receded into the distance, returning to their original universe in search of peace. In the chaos, there are still those who shine with exceptional virtue, their righteous spirit a beacon of hope in a world consumed by darkness and destruction. Yet, even as the forces of evil gain strength, humanity's innate desire for excitement and thrills often leads to recklessness, threatening the very fabric of our existence. The consequences of this behavior are stark: pollution, climate devastation, and the erosion of the ozone layer, all bearing down on a planet already teetering on the brink of collapse. Where the lines between good and evil are blurred, it's possible that the true nature of these beings has been misinterpreted. If the spirits have manifested in their pure form, then perhaps they shouldn't be called demons or gods at all, but rather as entities that embody both aspects of humanity, with the capacity to change and adapt into any form they desire. As spirits continued to multiply, Alan's mother stood frozen in terror, her mind reeling with the weight of her dark secret. For years, she had been secretly increasing the number of malevolent entities, feeding their power and unleashing them upon the world. But it was not just about the power, it was about the plan, one that involved the sacred sites on Easter Island, the mysterious child born in darkness, and the ancient beings that lurked beyond the veil. The Yeti, fairies, and other creatures of old were all part of this grand design, a celestial ballet of light and darkness that would soon be unleashed upon the universe. And at the center of it all was Alan's mother, a woman consumed by her own ambition and desire for power. Forces sought to manipulate Baronio to further their own evil purposes. They exploited his deepest fears and desires, using him as a pawn in their twisted game of control. But the children of light, though few in number, stood strong against this darkness. And in the end, it was not just Britain that saw through the lies, but others as well. The children of light hung in the balance as they attempted to reclaim their dominance over Mars, but their plans were foiled by the unexpected arrival of Ivan and Bowman. As the two warriors stood firm against the invaders, the very fabric of their universe was about to be forever changed. Their decision hangs in the balance, as they weigh the fate of Earth and its inhabitants against the corruption that has consumed them. Gods have been born, and with them, a catastrophic era for humanity. The Universe of Light's government has devised a plan to destroy Earth in its final moments, leaving only the children of darkness behind. But amidst this chaos, there are still many good and virtuous human beings who refuse to give up. And that the very beings we once revered as gods have become the monsters we now fight against? Have they, too, been consumed by the same darkness that drives them to destroy us? The thought sends a shiver down my spine as I ponder the true nature of justice and evil in this seemingly endless struggle. In a bid to defy the chief god, you must choose between returning to the universe of light or continuing to fight. But if you choose to fight, there's a secret way to defeat the enemy, a path that leads to the creation of a true god, one who can bring balance and harmony to the world. However, this path comes with a terrible cost, ceasing to exist. And yet, it may be the only option left, for if we fail, all of existence may perish, including our own spirits.
The secret lies in understanding the delicate balance between good and evil, two opposing forces that must converge to create something new.
In that moment, the true extent of Ivan's power was revealed. The evil spirit, once a mere specter, now awoke to its full potential as Ivan unleashed his abilities, prompting an internal conflict that would change everything. As a last resort, he hid the true identity of the enemy within him, but his plan was to allow his internal body to take over and invade Gilmore's spirit form from a specific point. However, in order for this to happen, Gilmore became a partner with the gods, adding another person to their circle, and Ivan had to choose death as a result. Themselves were once treated with the same reverence as the chief bod, but now even they are not immune to the harsh realities of this world. The cyborg soldiers seem to be above the law, and yet, there's something unsettling about their existence. It's as if humanity has lost its way in a sea of suffering, and I'm starting to wonder if we'll ever find our place again. But one thing is certain, mankind is blind to its own foolishness, and it's hard to tell what the right answer is anymore. In a bid to protect the earth, I've taken matters into my own hands. Every human being has the right to defend their desires and punish those who threaten their aspirations. Joe can't live in a world without you. The explosion is destructive, but I won't let that power destroy us both. We have to be together, no matter what lies ahead. Of truth finally upon us, Joe must make a choice that will determine not only his own fate but also the fate of those he cares about. The question is, can he come to terms with what needs to be done and find the strength to see it through? In my life is a constant reminder of what I've lost, and yet, it's something that I still desperately need. To be reborn again, with the freedom to choose one's own path, and perhaps, a second chance at love. The truth has finally arrived, and Ivan will soon know the answer to his heart's desire. Will it be a union of love and passion, or a cold and distant marriage? It was unleashed, a deafening explosion that shook the very foundations of reality. In its wake, a brilliant light tore apart and coiled outward, leaving destruction in its path. Engulfed the entire earth was so profound that it seemed to wrap around itself, only to disappear into the vast expanse of space. Desolate expanse, not even the faintest whispers of life could be discerned, an ashen gray world stretched out, devoid of warmth or vitality. For reading. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for the next release.